between two different things. Yeah, I'm thinking too much, I'm bursting at the seams. Tell me I'm not lost out at sea. Tell me
First,
listen to me, feeling misplaced. Someone rescue me. Someone rescue me. Someone take me. I'm floating. Someone
Gaming Morning Show.
Ah, the sounds of morning.
Early in the morning,
Birds singing.
gotta feed the donkey.
The sun peeking above the
When you
horizon.
feed the donkey,
The gentle nudge from your morning alarm clock.
this is what he says.
A subtle reminder that today is a new day. A new day for you to watch Gaming Morning Show. The show where you'll find science lessons.
Says when I bake bread, I give thousands of yeast organisms false hope by feeding them sugar before ruthlessly cooking them to death in an oven and eating their corpses. Wow.
I thought you
think
were
about bread a whole new way.
I thought you were about to say orgasms for a second there. Did either of you ever have that happen when you were in like biology class and you're reading?
Have
the
an orgasm? I've never orgasmed during
The biology text doesn't do that for you. It's like, oh yeah.
Great deals.
computers and accessories
Wait,
special bundle.
Mike, they got the super chroma color in. Did you know they had that? You
I know.
overpaid for your computer.
By a lot. I wonder if, do you think they price match?
They might. Well, this is half off.
Can you take a screenshot of this and try to get a store price match?
And linguistic perfection.
Is that like when I roll my R's?
Good.
Romance.
Great.
Romance. See, it's not a hiss.
So let me hear your battle cry.
Kiki. Oh!
Kiki what?
As we all charge into Gaming Morning Show.
More like Kiki. Whoa, am I right?
Now, if only I could find a way out of this box. I'll catch up. 'Cause GMS starts right now.
Morning, gamer! Gaming Morning Show is with you, and it is Friday, May 28th, 2021, and we are so excited to hang out with you for a total of not one, not two, but 3 full hours on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. We are also very excited to have a very handsome person right across the screen from me, my glasses friend, because apparently that's what I have to do today. That is Copia guest hosting along with Sean. I am Ryan. We are excited to be with you. We have a whole bunch of stuff to get to today, so it should be a fun way to end your week, and hopefully you'll have a good time with us as well. We got Gaming Morning Show, morning gaming news halfway through the hour. We got This Day in Gaming History. We have community birthday to celebrate today, as well as celebrity birthdays, and a Name of the Month giveaway. Just a whole bunch of stuff to get to, so we're excited to do that coming up on Gaming Morning Show. If you don't know Copia, Copia is a streamer on Twitch and a community builder for sure, an extraordinaire in all of the phases that Copia brings to the world. Good moron to you, Copia.
Good moron, Hefty Goof. How are you?
I'm pretty okay. I'm not going to lie. As you can tell, I got glasses on, right? And this is probably the second time in show history that I've had to do this, and it's just because there's something going on with my eye. Not liking it. It's not fun, and I hate wearing glasses, but I can't see without them, so this is where we're at, and this is what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, you look great, though, so it's fine.
Aw. Does the voice sound okay?
Sorry?
As long as the voice sounds okay, then,
Oh, always.
I mean, glasses doesn't affect the voice, right? Sean, do you think my voice sounds good, right?
Oh, it's so deep and smooth and sultry, I think is the word they use most of the time.
Yeah. Let's go take a nice trip along with this voice.
Please pay your hosts with plenty of voice flattery.
Bob knows what's up. I mean, if anybody has a voice, it's Bob. It's going to be National Road Trip Day, and I'm excited to talk about this one, although I'm also very excited to have somebody who's not from the United States on the show with us today, too, because I don't know if, the road trip concept is a very American concept, or if, everywhere else in the world, you go just exploring through the country, or if it's not considered like a road trip because it's a lot easier to get places in, public transportation and such. So I have that question to pose to you, Copia, in just a few moments. I do want to ask you that. We'll also give you the days of the day. We have news about the Joker sequel. We got news about cicadas coming up. We have information about Twitter getting a subscription. That's going to be an interesting thing. We also have a cool community event coming up on Tuesday with a birthday stream and a charity-a-thon we'll mention again coming up later today from our friend Papa Paz, who played 5 Questions GMS yesterday. What do we got here? Load last checkpoint. Hell yeah, boo, good eyesight, right? Yeah, cursed these things that allow me to see clearly. Are you nearsighted or farsighted, Copia? Why do you need glasses?
I am nearsighted, so I literally, as soon as I take my glasses off, anything that's more than probably a meter away from me, I can't see.
That's I feel you there. Road signs and stuff. I've had a couple of times where the contact has popped out about a mile from my house, and so I'm sitting here driving kind of with a monocle on for a second, and I'm just man, I can't see anything over on that one. Check 1, check 2. But you have pretty good eyesight, Sean, right?
I have pretty good eyesight, yeah. I do have glasses, and no one told me today was glasses day. I would have worn my glasses.
Sorry.
But no, I mostly need them for, seeing clearly far away, but I haven't been wearing them because they drive me nuts with masks, so yeah. I've gotten out of the habit of wearing them.
And as much as I hate glasses, I love sunglasses, right? I can't wear my sunglasses enough, but unfortunately, when you have this issue going on and I can't wear my contacts, I also can't wear sunglasses, and that probably drives me more nuts than just wearing glasses, period. So, but yeah, we'll have the memo department. They're right next to fulfillment, and you know how good our fulfillment department is. We'll have our memo department work on getting something typed up. You should have it by the end of the show to know that today is glasses day. Should make sense in the world. All right, here's our topic of the day, National Road Trip Day. And so we're asking you, what would be your ultimate road trip? And I did write in and out of your country, right? Because maybe you've always dreamed of driving across the U.S., but you're not from the U.S. And this is why I asked about the American concept, Copia, is because NationalDayCalendar.com says 2/3 of American drivers report an increase in the number of trips they plan to take, and also 63% say something to the effect of they are road trippers, right? So is it a fully American concept, or are you taking trips around the UK?
So I've wanted to do that for so long. It's more of an Americanism, I think, because like you said, the UK is quite small, but the thing is, where we struggle to find the will to travel sort of more than an hour to work. I know an hour to 2 hours is the norm for a lot of people in America. So yeah, I mean, if it was a road trip, you'd probably have to go around the whole of the UK, because the size of us is pretty much the size of one state. So it's not really that road trippy, the UK. I mean, I guess it would be cool for visitors to do it, but it's so easy to just get to and from everywhere that I think any road trips that anyone from the UK would do, you'd head to the likes of North America, Australia, places like that to really like fulfill it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'd totally want to road trip around the States. That would be incredible. That's literally a dream of mine. So.
Austin says, I'm planning a road trip to pick up all our Twitch friends and meet at Chris's house, which that's saying something because Austin lives in upstate New York, so you'd have a full northeast to southern California road trip, which I would have a blast. And Sean and I have both had the opportunity, albeit different experiences, to move people across the country. I mean, it was cool to be able to look at all this stuff, right, Sean? As you were driving 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, there were positive portions to it for sure. I wish we had had an opportunity, especially the Florida trip. I helped my sister and her family move to Florida 4 years ago, and I wish we had the chance to not do it at like breakneck speed, because we were like we did 28-hour days. We did 20 hours driving and then slept for 8 hours, and then 20 hours driving and slept for 8 hours, and we just nonstop. We were go go go. We didn't take breaks. Our food was whatever was available at the truck stops where we filled up the truck. So it was pretty brutal, but the scene was pretty, I guess.
there was some sleeping to be had. Did you end up like having a route though that now that you've done it at least once, like you would definitely try, like states you try to hit or attractions you try to hit going west to east?
Probably, yeah. I'd probably vary it up a little bit, and there were areas that I liked driving through that I would do again for sure.
Load Last Checkpoint says, as a parent, road trips have a potential to be nightmares. And I haven't done one with my kids for sure. Like I haven't done a really long road trip, but I've done like multiple states, going from Oregon to Montana. And I think what I would want to make sure to do is I would want that to be one of the longest and slowest road trips in history. I'd want to be able to do like 7 hours as opposed to like 13 hours in a day, and just like go slow and check out as much cool stuff as we could. So I'd be interested in it, but I mean, I at this point would want to go like southwest to the bottom of the U.S. because I've never had a chance to drive through Texas, New Mexico. I've driven a little bit through like Louisiana, but I'd want to take like that low road almost all the way from L.A. to Orlando. Like that would be kind of fun for me because I've done more of the high stretch where that road trip we did was Idaho to Massachusetts. So we were getting through like Indiana and Kansas and those kind of states. So it'd be fun to do. I'd also love to go through Canada, like the southern part of Canada, like all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia to like Ontario. That would be pretty awesome. So that'd be pretty cool. Well, Copia is here. Copia, for those who don't know you, and as we have you take a look for a Rocket League invite from me, what is your stream about? I know that you recently retired, which is pretty big news considering, not many retire at the young age that you are. Congratulations. I don't know if you're coming to us from Yacht 1 or Yacht 2, but now that you're fully retired, what are you doing on Twitch?
So, I'm not retired.
Seem retired. So,
but I don't know how this has got along so quickly. Like everybody's doing it. So, pretty much, my streams soon we'll be going back to more community-based things, along with Apex Legends. Because I've only been able to do sort of 1 or 2 a week, but I'm moving to a 3-day schedule, which will be 2 Apex streams and 1 community stream every week. So basically on Twitch, I just like to meet people, introduce people to other people, and just have a good time with and make new friends. Really, that's pretty much been my main goal with it from the start. And yeah, I just really enjoy it. So.
Well, and few do it as well as you do, and that's what I'm saying. The community building streams are an absolute blast. My understanding is later today you'll be on the air shortly after our show wraps up. Do you have any secret news that you can tell everybody here about, or are we going to wait till we actually have to start watching your stream?
So, today I have a mystery guest who's joining for some duos on Apex. And there has been some speculation. I've had some people asking me who it is, telling me who they think it is, and well, I'm gonna be honest. One person's got it right so far. Or have they? But yeah, there's been a lot of speculation that it is actually Sports Gaming joining me, which would be amazing. But unfortunately, Sean will be at work.
That'd be absurd. I don't play Apex.
Well, this is or do you? But
or do I?
This could be a big setup, and you know, maybe
Who knows?
I won't be waiting in the car today.
Maybe you'll surprise everyone, and the stream will just be me and Ryan for some reason, and you just never show up. And they're like, "Where is Copia?" This is such a
Exactly,
weird
like-
surprise.
Yeah, I might not even actually be on my stream. Who knows? So.
Find out later on Copia's
That would
stream
be funny.
whether or not Copia is actually on Copia's stream. I let it go over my head. The Sean times Copia crossover is the one that we've been waiting for, according to Austin. And Austin did talk about going from like shows in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, again living in the Northeast. I'm too high maintenance though to have taken an actual road trip. And see, I've done like smaller parts of the trip too, in the sense that like one time I flew into Boston, Massachusetts, because I had a conference, two of them that were in the eastern part of the U.S., and I had a friend up in the Northeast, and so I actually flew into Massachusetts to then go and drive from there to North Carolina, which is in like the Southeast, and then turn around and drive back up to Washington D.C. for another conference. So I did like a whole East Coast linear road trip without necessarily designing it to be just a road trip, which was super fun. So yeah, but I would drive 8 hours just to go do a singular like hour-long event. Like I would be totally up for that kind of thing. The driving never bothers me.
That would be unheard of here.
I mean, could you get around the whole country in 8 hours, or is it not that small?
Probably not the whole country. I'd say you could probably. I'd say you could probably get around about halfway. We have a lot of windy roads, so it's like, especially where I live. I'd say you could probably get around my entire county in a couple of hours, if you didn't stop anywhere. So we're one of the larger counties in the UK, so I'd say you probably need a couple of days and that's with a break, because no one's ever going to drive 8 hours in a day.
I could go to the UK, Sean, and be the first to drive 8 hours in a day. It's around all of the UK.
World record.
We'll have your statue made and everything, though. But no, it's honestly unheard of. Like,
Good moron to you, K-Laugh. It is good to see you as well. And Prototype is here, too. Good moron to you, Prototype. Prototype, remind me where you're from, too, because I can't remember. We had asked, for those who are not in the U.S., if they have, like, a road trip experience that they would always want to go on, but they never have. And does that include, obviously, if you wanted to come over to the U.S., would you want to check that out? So I can't remember, Prototype, if you're in the U.S. or not. Oh, Mike is here. Mike just checked. That is funny that Austin said, "Where is Mike?" after Mike said, "Sorry, I'm not here. I miss you all." Oh, I see. He said, "I am not there." Gotcha. I thought Mike said, "Don't worry, I am here." And then Austin said, "Oh, Prototype, I didn't know you were in Texas." Okay, so what's your ultimate road trip then? Well, we talked about that too the other day. I was trying to remember. I think I was talking to Guru, who, by the way, just followed Gaming Morning Show yesterday, so thank you for the follow, Guru. We really appreciate it. I mean, we met Guru, like, the first month we were on the air, and Guru decided to follow us yesterday, so appreciate that. And Guru's in Texas. And, excuse me, and I said, "Oh, no, I bet you get things like hey, do you know Kate Zaid? Because Kate Zaid is also from Texas, even though they live like 5 hours apart from one another. Because I used to get that all the time being a Montanan. When I first moved to the Pacific Northwest, I'd be like, oh, where'd you grow up? Oh, I grew up in Montana. Oh, that's cool. Do you know so-and-so? And I'd be like, you realize Montana is like the 4th largest state in the country. Like, I probably never even been to their town. Good moron, Master Jordan.
Like Norfolk.
Say that again.
So I was saying that's so different to Norfolk where I'm from because pretty much it's more unlikely to not know someone. It's like, we're so small that everybody just knows everybody.
You get the opposite reaction where it's like, you don't know Jim? How do you not know Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Jim.
And then
I got you.
even though, yeah, and when there's 15 gyms, you always know exactly which one. Right.
That's funny. Yeah, you don't even have to give the last name. It's like, oh yeah, that Jim. Gotcha. Yes. Prototype says if you live
Jim
in Texas,
11.
it takes a day to get anywhere out of the borders of Texas. You take a day to drive out of Texas. Yep, absolutely. Texas is gigantic. Oh no.
Oh dear.
I was just sitting there ready to deflect this away, and it like bounced off the top of my car.
Yeah, it does that a lot. Physics
right.
is not the strong point of this game.
All right, Austin, when you get back, we need to know the details. So make sure to let us know what's for breakfast. Thank you, Jordy. Yes, that was an amazing shot. Wrong team. Right shot. Nice work, Copia.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Copia is right.
I like how. So I joined Team Williams to help support Copia, and so it just looks like it's 5-on-1 blue team.
Yeah. It really bamboozles the other team, doesn't it? Well, in this case, have to be.
True. Well, Prototype, thanks for doing that. It's interesting that you do because we had designed the show to be good, hopefully in audio-only format. So while we do play games, it's such a secondary part that we try to make the audio-only portion work as well. Out of curiosity, how's the audio-only part of Twitch work? Because we are looking into, do we explore like Twitter Spaces or something? Is there a better way to do the radio portion so that it sounds as good as it can? But if the radio side on Twitch is coming across, then that's great because then you can have both options, when you're able to watch or when you only can listen. Because I've had good experiences with the audio only side of Twitch, and I've had others too, so that's good to hear.
Oh, nice try.
Well, the first game of the day was not our game, which is fine. It is 6:26 on the West Coast. It is 9:26 out on the East, and it is 2:26 for those hanging out with us overseas. Thank you for being here on Gaming Morning Show. Ryan, Sean, and Copia with you today. Coming up on Monday, we're going to have Austin Attack in to guest host, and then on Tuesday, Pib Jinky will join us as guest host as well. Should be a lot of fun. We'll tell you more about those two coming up later on in the show. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are great. You're not super loud and pitchy, so it's good on the radio. Yeah. I think that counts as like second voice flattery.
Please pay your hosts with plenty of voice flattery.
Although I think
Flattery Friday.
me saying second is worth a mispronunciation counter. So we
I thought
move.
that was just a new word.
It could be. Does anyone want to vouch for Zekant, please? Maybe your last name. Maybe Zev. Being a fan of Z's was Zevtastic. Maybe Zev would give me a pass on Zekant. Maybe not. All right. Well, we're only up to 94. Are you now excited? Is the next milestone? Our first one was 69. Is the next milestone 100? Is that when we really celebrate?
That's so mundane, though. think everyone does that.
Yeah.
We should 105. Let's make 105 a really big deal.
Okay. What a fun. That's the key. That's the key. All right, let's do this. It is time for the news, and then we're going to tell you about Joker 2, the sequel to the movie. We're going to tell you more about the Charity-thon with Papa Pa's Jelly Bone Jabroni has a special event next week as well. It's all coming up on this edition of Gaming Morning Show, but right now, let's get informed. Video game headlines time. Here's hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. It is Friday, May 28th, 2021. And this is your Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News. We had a couple big digitally live events yesterday that we're going to talk about. First one being the Sonic Central 30th Anniversary Showcase that took place right after our show yesterday. And they announced a bunch of fun Sonic stuff. Have a couple different write-ups. The main one I'm going to be pulling from is from Campbell Gill of GoombaStomp.com, which is a fantastic name.
This is, I think, the first official appearance for Goomba Stomp on the Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News.
So they announced a whole bunch of Sonic-related stuff. They're putting Sonic in everything. Places he shouldn't probably be. For example, he's going to be a playable doctor in 2 Point Hospital.
What?
Which is kind of there's screenshots and some video. It's like a hospital simulator game, but now you can make Sonic a doctor for some reason.
The crossover everyone's waiting
Yeah, right.
Right. The other one, so Sonic and Mario have been at the Olympics quite a bit, right? But there's also an Olympics game, Tokyo 2020, which is like the official video game with like human characters, not Nintendo characters. But Sega's going to be in that one too. And to make it look fairly normal, I guess, with giant quotes around normal, instead of having like cartoony Sonic, it's like a guy in a Sonic mascot outfit participating in the Olympics.
Oh my gosh.
What are you doing?
Downs is even saying surely the Olympics one is the worst. He's the wrong size.
It's so absurd. So aside from them putting him in everything, which for whatever reason they decided was a good way to celebrate 30th anniversary, they also announced a bunch of new games and stuff like that. So Sonic Colors Ultimate is coming to PC and consoles, which is exciting for people because apparently Sonic Colors was a beloved game that you can't play a modern version of. So that's coming in September on the 7th. Sonic Origins collects old school Sonic games into a nice little package, and that is coming soon. There's some Sonic mobile games that are getting some updates as part of the anniversary. So look for Sonic Forces Speed Battle to add Supersonic and make their sessions even faster. Sonic Dash is getting into Pirates, because Sonic and Pirates, they go, like peanut butter and chocolate. This was such a weird conference. There's also some collectors, collector items, I suppose, like a giant Eggman Roadbot playset from Jack's Pacific Inc. Some really interesting bedazzled Sonic jewelry from King Ice. Yep, you should check them out. There's a full color hardcover Sonic Encyclopedia from Dark Horse. That makes sense. A supersized 80-page comic book from IDW. That also makes sense. And a commemorative 30th anniversary gold and silver coin or coins from APMEX. That also makes sense.
So someone said that they would definitely like the Sonic book. That was Downs as well, but I like K-Laugh. Wait, So Sonic's the doctor, but not Dr. Robotnik?
Nope.
Due to an error in shipping.
They also announced they're doing a orchestral concert featuring iconic Sonic music, which is great, and it's digital, which is also great, and it's free, which is triply great. So that's definitely worth checking out. I thought they announced a date, but I don't see it in this rundown. So check that out if you're interested in it. But it is free, so worth checking out, because I always like when they do these orchestral rehashes of video game music. It's always a fun time.
Chat.
Then
I'm gonna need your help, by the way. In the 8 o'clock hour, when Final Hour Crew Ambassador Nintendo Nerd shows up, Nintendo was one of the ones who's most excited about this thing. I want to kind of know what Nintendo thinks is too ridiculous from all of this news. So remind me to ask Nintendo when he gets here coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
And then they finished off the whole thing with a wait, we have one more thing, and we got the tiniest little bit of tease at a new mainland 3D Sonic game. And I mean, like, everyone, they played it and everyone was like, but what is that? You didn't tell us anything. Sonic runs around this forested area and makes a little like icon, and then that's on screen, and everyone's like, I don't know what this icon means. But basically confirming that there's going to be a new mainline Sonic game, assuming it's in 3D, because the whole clip is 3D Sonic, but it wouldn't be the first time that it seems like something's in 3D and then they're like, oh no, it's a side scroller. Neat. So lots of Sonic news. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for the 3D game, because of all the things they announced, that's probably the biggest thing, that new game. But I also want to watch the orchestral concert. And because we can't have just one big conference in a day, we had Sonic in the morning, and then we had Horizon Forbidden West in the afternoon. And this one we got a good look, like 14 minutes of gameplay, which is great. And so we can pick apart a lot of stuff from that gameplay. The one thing we didn't get is a release date. And unfortunately, they had previously said that the game was due out in 2021. We didn't even get a reconfirmation that it's coming out in 2021. And that could be scary. Well, not scary, but it might be longer before we get to play this. This could be, and I was thinking about it last night, kind of as I was preparing for today. That could mean a couple things. The most likely, and this is the one I actually think it is that it's not coming out this year. They're planning to release it next year, and they weren't prepared to make that announcement. Maybe they're just not sure of when exactly it's going to come out. Maybe they're teetering on the edge of, like, they might be able to get it out like December of this year, but it might get pushed to next year, and they don't want to give anything specific, so they can't just give a year, because it might be 2021, it might be 2022, so they just left it out. That's the most likely, in my opinion. Or the small possibility, don't bank on this, but the small possibility is that maybe it is coming out sooner than people expect, and they want that big reveal for their state of play that's going to revolve around like E3 time. So like maybe we'll hear more about Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, and they come out during their June state of play. That's essentially their E3 conference, and they're like, it's coming out in October, and everyone's like, what? I can't believe it's coming out in October. Like maybe they just want that hit. I don't know. But gameplay wise, it looks fantastic, and it's exactly at least what I wanted from a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, which is more Horizon Zero Dawn, with some slight tweaks. The biggest gripes with the first game that most people had, they seem to be addressing here, and that's close quarter combat, melee combat was not great in the first game, so you spent most of your time trying to create distance and use your medium range weapons, which was fine. It's just the way the game played, but they do seem to have put some better thought into the hand-to-hand combat, and so that looks a lot better. And then medium distance traversal was not great, so like being in a small space, it was fine, and then longer travel was fine, but like getting around larger areas wasn't great. They've added a hook shot, which is great, so that's gonna get you to far away places when you're like in a battle a lot faster. They also added a little like digital hologram like hovering thing, which is cool. So it gives you a lot more height variability in terms of your ability to get around. So that'll be good. And there's swimming, and the swimming looks good. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know much about this game, but the swimming did look amazing. So,
And the game's just gorgeous. But no one, at least I didn't have any worry that the game wasn't going to look gorgeous, because the first one looked gorgeous, and now we're dealing with more powerful machines, so it'll be good. And all this watching the gameplay, all that made me want to do is go back and replay the first one. So might have to do that at some point. And always last but not least, we finish off today's Gaming Morning Show morning gaming news with the world-renowned segment within a segment where we take a look at what is out today. We have a bunch again. Port Royale 4 out on Switch. Eagle Island out on Xbox One. Song of Horror out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. 8 Dragons out on Xbox One. Trenga Unlimited out on Xbox One and PC. I hate when my Trengas are limited. Crossbow Crusade out on Xbox One and Switch. Long Ago, A Puzzle Tale out on Xbox One. Wonder Boy, Asha in Monster World out on PlayStation 4 and Switch.
Wonder Boy, Asha in the Monster World.
7 years from now out on Switch and PC. Super Arcade Soccer 2021 out on Xbox One. SRX the game out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, as opposed to SRX the anything else. World's End Club out on Switch. Color Dots Connect out on Switch. Regina and Mac World out on Switch. A Little Lily Princess out on Switch. Love, a puzzle box filled with stories out on Switch. Family Mysteries 3 Criminal Mindset out on Switch. Root Me Mail and Delivery Co. out on Switch. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your favorite segment within a segment within a segment, today's name of the morning goes to Beautiful Desolation on PlayStation 4 and Switch.
Holy cow, how did you pick?
I flipped a 4-sided coin.
Oh my gosh.
It was they were pretty absurd. I liked it.
Oh my gosh. Copia. I know I wasn't alone in thinking Wonder Boy and Tenacious D, right? Like, I wasn't the only one.
Oh, absolutely. I did actually see that earlier, and I was thinking in my head like Wonder Boy, but yeah. So that's really got to be it's got to be in the soundtrack, surely. Maybe not. Actually, it might be inappropriate.
Oh my gosh, love a puzzle box filled with stories. It's so good. It's so good. Those are a lot of games that are out today, and one of which, Beautiful Desolation, which was our GMS name of the morning. We have one more name of the morning to give you. That'll be on Monday, in the final day of May. But all of our name of the mornings were selected for the month of April, and so today we are giving away our name of the month for the month of April. And if you would like to join in on the fun, you can do so by just typing in !raffle. And if you... Just a sec, I need to turn that one off, maybe? No, just a sec, for sure. I hit start. It says, all prizes must be assigned to start another giveaway. I don't know what that means, Streamlabs. I had it ready to go, and now you're giving me flack? What's your deal? Huh? Do we need to have a moment here? Uh-oh. That's not the actual winner of the game. Oh, view active giveaway. Cancel. Oh. Okay, fine. I'm just going to click this button that says pick winner, even though you can ignore that. Snuffkin, you didn't win anything, okay? You know, you don't get the soundtrack. I'm just completing the old giveaway. Snuffkin, you get nothing, okay? And you're going to like it. All right, there you go. The new one's started. So if you would like to join, just do !raffle. And you have a chance to win our name of the month for April. Type !raffle. And Patreons automatically get 2 times entries. So what that means is if you're not here and you don't hit !raffle, but you're a Patreon subscriber or above, good news, you're already entered. You just get 2 if you throw in !raffle. So, Jordy, you also win nothing. I'm sorry. No, you don't get anything. No extra bonus points. Jordy, that was Nightbot went rogue, okay? And Nightbot is not a certified member of the giveaway crew, so sorry. Yeah, it's a scam. Yeah. But Jordy, Nightbot would like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty, please. So. So yeah, Beautiful Desolation is now eligible to be Name of the Month for the month of May. Sports.gaming. Who were our contenders for the month of April, and who is our actual Name of the Month for the month of April that somebody will walk away with at the end of the show today?
Well, April was an interesting month for names. We had quite a few days. I typed NA a lot on this list of names of the morning just because there were a lot of days nothing came out, or like one game came out, or 2 games came out, and they were not eligible because I said nope. But then we had some really good ones. Early in the month we had Papa's quiz, which maybe that was Papa Pa's quiz. I don't know. Maybe we should have go back and review the footage. Highlights for me, we had Always Sometimes Monsters in April 8th. That was a good one. Always Sometimes Monsters. And then late in the month on the 29th, we had Legend of Keepers, Career of a Dungeon Manager. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But the winner for me, my favorite, happened on the 22nd. And this is a game that I've been wanting to check out, but I've been holding off until I announced Name of the Month, so I can now check it out after today. And that is a game that came out on Switch and PC and has a title with words in it. And the title starts with a T.
Wow. Really
And
stretching.
it's Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. So that is what you're competing for today. Our April Name of the Month was Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. Now, have you looked much into this since you picked it?
I've seen, in going to get stuff together for it, I have seen screenshots, and I have a rough idea based on what other people have said of what type of game it is, and it just made me want to play it more. So I'm excited to check this out now.
Turnip Boy, why did you evade the taxes? All right, well, good news. You have a chance to win that game. All you have to do is type an exclamation point raffle, and you might have a chance to win. Austin said, I'd like to revoke my raffle since I already have it. Nope, if you win it, Austin, you're going to have double copies, or we'll make sure you can gift it to somebody else. Curry says, OMG, it's Cop 1A. Good moron to you, Curry.
Good moron.
Did you like my Cat 1A, by the way, yesterday, Copia?
Oh, I loved it. I was actually in a call with Chris at the time, and Chris said, "Oh, just check Twitter." So I had a look, and I was like, "Oh, that is amazing." And I told you not to dox me because I have all this time secretly been a cat. And I put on my human suit for public appearances. But,
That's why Arturo always gets up on the desk and rubs all over my face.
it's been secretly me all along.
Man.
Everybody knows an anagram of Arturo is Copia. So.
That is Copia joining us today. We are so excited that you are in the guest hosting chair. Copia will be streaming after our stream with a mystery guest later today. Mike O said this as the ultimate road trip BTW. So you drive to Texas, you see the Texas crew, then you drive to Tombstone and visit the ghosts and the large cut in the earth. Drive to SoCal, visit SoCal friends, spend time cuddling Chris M.E. Go north to Oregon and see Pickle and Southern Oregon friends, then head to Salem and hop on Sean's big deck, Portland, for sushi. Home. That is, of course, Look, It's Mike O's ultimate road trip.
You know what they say about a big deck.
So, chat, National Road Trip Day. What is your ultimate road trip? Where would you like to go road tripping? If you're not interested in your own country, what country would you like to go to drive around? I mean, who said Australia earlier? Was that you, Copia? Mentioned something about maybe Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I've had a lot of friends that have done it, and they've spent like months in the outback, just traveling in a camper van, and then finding sort of areas where they can work. And a couple of them have actually stayed out there and live there still now. So it was obviously pretty good. So I would love to go out there. Just not sure about all the spiders and stuff. Like I'm not too bothered about spiders, but it's just the venom.
Yeah.
hold the venom, please. But but yeah, I've been recommended it a lot. So, but I think I'd choose America first. It's not as hot.
Also, we're here.
And absolutely, yeah. There's people I get along with as well. Like, so. I'm not just going because of the weather.
Oh my gosh, hold the venom, please. Excuse me, Miss Spider, would you please not use the venom today? That would be great.
I'll take one of your finest spiders.
Hold the venom. I just picture like a one of those really loud kitchens where everyone's yelling at each other, and then someone's yelling from across, "We need a large spider! Hold the venom!"
Complimentary. You sure you don't want the extras?
It's no charge. I can't give you a discount even if you don't get the venom. Oh, I know. I'm not worried about the money. I just don't want the venom.
Nice Copia feels about venom the way I feel about mayonnaise.
Not a fan?
Oh gosh, mayonnaise is awful. Ugh. Ugh. It ruins everything. Except macaroni salad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind it with salad, but I'm more of a ketchup guy.
Ugh. Ketchup's gross too. I'm just anti-sauce. I'm just anti-sauce. Oh, it's so close. I got too deep. Let's see. Majority said I'd take the lesser-known highway across the Atlantic to visit Copia in Super. Yeah, could we go through the Atlantic Tunnel? That would be pretty cool.
We should build that. I mean, we won't get it finished in our lifetime, but we should try. Just get a really big oxygen tank.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Just to be able to drive under the ocean. All right, that would actually be a good Mike O question, by the way, Copia. That'd be a good Mike O question. Is would Mike rather fly across the Atlantic Ocean or go driving under a newly constructed Atlantic Ocean tunnel? I don't know if that would make him feel any better or not.
Well, there is actually a way to get here without flying. The only problem is it's not exactly legal.
Okay.
So there's a coast off the at the edge of Alaska. There's a certain part of water that gets so cold in the winter that it completely freezes over, and you can get to the nearest point of Russia on foot. Obviously, it's incredibly dangerous, so I don't recommend it. But there is a way you can actually get to Russia by foot, and then the rest you can do by train.
Huh.
Because you can get between France and the UK via the Channel Tunnel. But if they can put it under that short stretch of water, they can do it at the Atlantic as well.
I'm just picturing like Copia opening up a tourism, company, where it's like, come with me, and we will do this illegal stretch over to Russia, and then on the way to the UK.
But it's fine, it's fine. We'll disguise ourselves as abominable snowmen, and then no one will think of a thing.
Yeah, we'll frost up Barry from Mike's office, and then we'll just go with Barry, and since we'll actually have a Sasquatch with us, I mean, they have to believe us at that point, right?
Yeah, I might just check that snow people, whether or not snow people need passports. But we'll find a way.
Excuse me, Ms. Abominable. Is that your last name? Okay. All right, we got birthdays in this day in gaming history coming up after this game. Copia is hanging out with us. Mike O is out today, but hanging out with us in chat. Sports.gaming's with us as well this morning. It's a pretty good show so far. We have a community birthday to celebrate coming up after this game as well. So stick around for that. It's all coming up. Gaming Morning Show. How long have you been playing Rocket League, Copia?
On and off, probably. I think I started playing it when the Xbox One came out. So on and off, really. I don't really. I play it quite casually. I used to play it a fair bit, but now it's very casual. And I've just got it on PC, so because I'm still on my Xbox. So yeah, it's a lot smoother on here. But yeah, I'd say on and off probably about 5 years. Not that it shows because I can't do anything aerial, and I can't use ball cam.
Oh, okay. So it's okay for Copia not to use ball cam, but I have to sit here and just suffer through ball cam. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
For the viewers! That could be centered really high. No.
absolutely. I nearly got that.
Watching you both just bounce around in a goal behind the ball was really entertaining.
I was so close. Nice turnaround by them. We were the
We were
hype.
just checking on each other.
Yeah, we were the hype men for the goal on their side.
Let's go. I mean, we are wearing the colours, so technically, myself and Sean are winning 5-1.
We win either way.
Yeah. It has been a struggle since I've become a driver for Williams, though. Not used to the shape of the car.
Well, it's a good contract you signed, though.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems
me,
to
and-
be
me and George are like that, so.
seems to be a theme, the having trouble when you drive for Williams.
I mean, you saw the difference when Russell got the car he should be driving.
Yeah, for sure. That was a heartbreak of a race, though.
But despite so many setbacks, like he even pulled it back like until the last lap, didn't he? And then
Yep.
but
I'm
right
excited.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to see him come into his full potential.
Yeah, definitely. Get Hamilton out and get him in.
I think it's time.
I think Hamilton's probably going to go for. He's probably going to go for one more championship, so he overtakes Michael Schumacher.
Mhm.
I think that's his intention, and then he'll stop.
That makes sense.
It is Gaming Morning Show 6:55 West Coast time. It is 9:55 out on the East, 2:55 for those watching GMS in the afternoon. Doo-loo-loo. Down says Sasquatch is actually greater than a passport, so that's all the clearance that you need. You were worried about the legality of that crossing. Just bring a Sasquatch. You don't need a passport.
You don't? Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and that's from Down, so I'm sure that that's completely. We'll just print this chat out, and we'll take it with us to the authorities, and they'll be like, "Look, we had somebody tell us that it was cool." So, yeah, exactly. We'll have a scroll.
Official.
I don't know why chats all of a sudden go on scrolls, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna bring you a scroll, and then show it to you. So, Master Jordy, I already talked about that one. Like to take that lesser-known highway to go visit the people across the Atlantic. Tracer's here this morning. We gave a shout out early to Tracer. I also want to say thank you for the host this morning from Jordy and Axe. Appreciate you doing that. Austin Attack as well gave us a host this morning. Austin will be in the guest hosting chair coming up on Monday. Let's do birthdays this day in gaming history. If you have a birthday to celebrate with us, well, by all means, please let us know because we would like to celebrate with you as well. Let's see what else we got going on this morning. Excel. That's wrong. Blaze. I always call Blaze Excel Blaze for some reason. It's just Blaze, but everyone knows Blaze. Blaze is having a birthday tomorrow, believe it or not.
That is insane. I can't believe how many birthdays have been so close together within the community.
You had Blaze once, Copia, as your streamer of the week.
I did, and I think everybody who heard the interview heard what a wholesome and wonderful human being he is. So I hope there's some big celebrations going down for him.
Blaze hype from Kakuri Jellybone Jabroni waving hi this morning. Attack says Austin, Texas, love Blaze. So ready for Blaze. This is your birthday song. It is not very long.
Toot toot.
Gladys Knight turning 77 today. Singer has a birthday, as does singer Kylie Minogue. Turns 53 today.
Nice. Gladys Knight was on Masked Singer.
That was fairly
She
early on,
was.
right?
Yeah. Was it the first season? I think it might have been.
I think so.
She's fantastic.
Is Kylie Minogue still doing music and I just don't know about it?
I believe she hasn't released anything in a while, but I don't think she's retired or anything like that.
Who's our Kylie Minogue expert in chat? Do we have one? Can we get like a discography of Kylie Minogue? That'd be great, please.
Just
who else
call
has
my
a
dad.
birthday?
He's a big fan.
Excuse me, Mr. 1A. Do you know if Kylie Minogue has another album? TV host Elizabeth Hasselbeck turns 44 today. Who else has a birthday? Alexa Davalos turns 39, an actress. Man, we are not doing well so far on people we know. How about actress Carrie Mulligan, 36? We need a mulligan with our birthdays today.
I do know a couple of birthdays, but I don't know. I don't think I've heard of. I don't think I've heard of Alexa Davalos or Carrie Mulligan.
Yeah, so Carrie Mulligan, I only know this now because of the fun fact, but was nominated for an Oscar this year for her role in Promising Young Woman. I do want to watch that movie because I remember seeing the advertisements for it. So I would watch that, and that's where I would recognize Carrie from. NFL's Michael Orr is 35, and if you don't know about Michael Orr as a football player, he was an offensive lineman long time for the Baltimore Ravens. He was the subject matter for the movie The Blind Side, starring Sandra Bullock.
I've heard of that.
From the chat, good morning to you, Dr. Chick. It is good to see you. And Dr. Chick also informing us that Daddy Chick turns 67 today. So, for Daddy Chick, this is your birthday song. It is not very long.
Toot toot.
I don't know. I like AJ's better. Dad's her chick. As opposed to Dr.
That's the
Chick.
chick.
Dad's your
Yeah, I
chick.
saw that.
Yeah, that's good, that's good. This date in gaming history, unless you had any... Oh, wait, no. We do have a very special birthday milestone to celebrate today. This only happens once a year. Sometimes we celebrate birthdays, on the day of one's birthday. But instead, what we're going to do today is we're going to celebrate the continuing anniversary of someone else's birthday. Copia, please tell us about today's key milestone.
Yeah, so back in February, I got the date wrong initially for Taylor Hawkins' birthday. And so to make it up to him, because he knows I do this, he knows exactly who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I then celebrated his birthday the day after, and since I have continued to celebrate his birthday, and I'm pretty sure this is the main reason why the guys have got me on GMS today, and that's to celebrate that it is actually 100 days since Taylor Hawkins' birthday day. So it's quite a monumental day. I'm surprised it's not in the notes. I'm not gonna lie.
On behalf
It should be at the top of that list.
of Gaming Morning Show and our rundown department, we apologize to Copia for omitting the 100th anniversary to celebrate Taylor Hawkins' actual birthday. But, of course, Bob knows as much about Taylor Hawkins as anything, because Taylor...
A fan of Hildart Duff and Harry Clarence Styles.
So, that's always an important thing to mention, is how much of a
Absolutely.
fan Taylor
Yeah.
is of Hildart Duff. So,
Mhm.
this day
time.
in gaming history...
Big time.
1992, the Summer Consumer Electronics Show was held in Chicago. This was back in 1992. Nintendo had a 76,000 square foot booth. That was the largest in the history of the trade show. I don't know really why kpolson.com has so many specific notes about this particular gaming show that was held in 1992, but they do, so we're going to tell you about them. Nintendo said it would sell the Super Nintendo system for $100 in the US or $149.95 with 2 controllers and a game. Wow. Could you imagine if like PlayStation 5 was packaged with 2 controllers and a game for $150?
And not just a game, Super Mario World.
Right?
Arguably the best 2D Super Mario game.
It was very good. It was very good. Didn't they announce the Super Nintendo Switch, or did they allude to it?
We still don't have anything official.
Okay. Because
It's
somebody on Twitter was saying that if you're going to do it, the Joy-Cons better be very Super Nintendo-y. So,
Ooh, that would be good.
some other news: Sega announced the Genesis price drop to $100, and Turbo Technologies said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to take that TurboGrafx 16. We're going to drop it to $69.99 instead of $99.99, and we're going to throw in Bonk's Revenge and Keith Courage. What now?"
Arguably the best Bonk's Revenge game.
Arguably. I don't know anything about Bonk's Revenge.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, there you go. Disney the next year released the Hollywood Pictures live-action film Super Mario Brothers. It cost $48 million to make and is one of the biggest flops in all cinematic history.
And Nintendo's
For so
never
many
wanted to do
reasons.
a film franchise since.
I wonder why. That's probably one of the worst films I've ever seen.
It was really bad.
It was really bad.
It
I
was
think
just
we-
wrong.
We just need to build the
There was
time
nothing
machine
right.
solely to go and fix 90s video game movies because they just had a really tough time with them. It was
They
bad.
were not good.
In 2003, Tokyo, Japan had the Sony Electronics Vice President Ken Kutaragi unveiling the PSX, a combination of the PlayStation 2 with a DVD recorder. It included a broadcast satellite tuner, 120 gigabyte hard drive, memory stick, and Ethernet with USB ports. This kind of sounded like they were trying to be the Xbox One before the Xbox One.
Ahead of its time.
Yes, Xbox. Maybe
Yes.
that's where they got it from.
Yes. And 20.
And that lines up because in Japan, at least back then, they liked all of their things to be this one thing does everything, and a lot of it's space. You know, a lot of apartments and houses don't have a lot of space, so they don't ever necessarily have room for an entertainment center that has a PlayStation and a DVD player and this and that. So they liked the combo things, and so you saw a lot of these consoles that got re-released with combos of other things that just never made it to the US market because that's not how we buy our electronics.
Huh.
Compared to where they do. So you see a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that, so that's good information. I was pretty excited about the Xbox One, by the way, because I would have gotten it because at the time I did have pay TV, right? That was, analog in the sense that I had a receiver. So I would have loved to be able to say, hey, Xbox One, change to ESPN. Show me the Lakers. Like, I would have loved that, but I didn't want an Xbox, so... Last but not least, 2010, Disney released the feature film Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. The movie is based on the Prince of Persia series of computer and video games first released in 1987.
Nailed it.
All right. It is now 7:05. We're late, so we got to take a break. We'll come back. We also have to say goodbye to Sean.
Sad day. At least for now.
Sorry, I'm not in the car.
I'll come
Yeah.
visit you this time.
How are you getting to work?
Okay.
Who said I was going to work?
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, I'll see you in 2.5 hours.
have fun being wherever Mike is. All right, we say goodbye to Sean. We'll miss you, Sean. Goodbye, Sean. Bye, Sean. We're gonna miss
Bye,
you.
Sean.
You're
Bye.
gone, Sean's gone. All right, Kopi and I will take you the rest of the way. It is Friday, May 28th, 2021. We still owe you the Joker sequel news, so we'll do that. Pib is going to be on the show as a guest host coming up on Tuesday. We had Papa Paws on yesterday. Austin will guest host on Monday. We will also tell you about Jelly Bone Jabroni's birthday event coming up next week and more about Papa Paws' charity stream. For Copia, I am Ryan. Everyone in chat, some who are telling us about road trips. We'll talk more about those next hour as well. We'll come back on Facebook Gaming on Twitch, on YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. Thanks for being here. It is Friday.
I can't roll my R's either.
What? It should be easier to do, and it's hard.
Right? I had a 6-year-old Russian girl work with me every single night for a week and a half, tried to teach me how to roll my R's, and I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. And I was just bad with languages. I mean, I tried for 7 years. I went to a Spanish-speaking country, so tried immersion, right?
Yep.
I couldn't grasp a new language, and I can barely speak English, so maybe that's part of the reason. I can't get our words out, let alone another language. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Rolling. Oh, actually, you did admit this. You can't roll your R's, so now we have to have a rolling R off.
Oh no, I can't even make noises.
You brought this on yourself. You peeled back a little layer, and so now that you've given us a glimpse. All right. So again, for reference, here's me rolling my R's.
Sounds good.
Romance.
Okay, I'm supposed to say the word romance.
Yep. Just try to do a Kiki low.
Okay. I'm actually trying. I can't do it. Mike's weak.
Mike has no clue what's happening right now.
Yep, I can't roll my R's, guys.
Okay. I want somewhere in my heart to know that you're just doing that to make me feel better, but I don't think so. Right? Like it's there. And Kate's is just like out of the... You can't even hear it. My forehead really hurts now, Tapso.
What does your forehead
Because
hurt?
the smile extends all the way up to here. No, you're crying.
Oh, my abs.
Oh no! And the best part is Mike's on the phone. How we doing, chat? No, it's the background. Don't Scott. No, it's AJ. It's the background. Look how very much not red I am.
Yes.
Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, list of the day and sports. Go to our website, gamingmorningshow.tv. Time for hour number 2. Right now.
Morning, gamer. Gaming Morning Show continues. It is Friday, May 28th, 2021. Thank you for being here wherever you may be. On Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, sometimes Twitter, and always at gamingmorningshow.tv. Thank you, Chat FM, right on time, because we are asking you today about National Road Trip Day. And I specifically wanted to know, if you're not in the U.S., what is your ultimate road trip? Because I don't know if the idea of a road trip is very Americanized, because the United States is a very big country, so a road trip is a little bit easier to do. Here's some of the answers we're getting from you, Chat. Chat FM, road trip. I once drove from Germany to Sweden for something to do. Unfortunately, not realizing that the huge bridge that goes across the sea costs a very high toll fee. Paid, but had to go home with just enough money for fuel in my pocket. Well, I'm happy that you are back home, because that's a great story that was probably born out of an unfortunate circumstance. That's too bad. How much did it cost? Wow. Kate Laugh said, each year my uncle works as road crew for a car in the Great Race, an antique vintage car-controlled speed endurance rally that takes a different route each year. It'd be nice to go along and help out one year. It's a neat event. I had heard of those kind of things, but I didn't know they had them with vintage cars. That's kind of cool. Who else had one? I know that Jelly had one up here somewhere. Yeah, my ultimate road trip would be going to each state for what they are known for. That's interesting. I wonder how you make that determination. Is that based on, like, state flower, state tree, or are you talking, like, just getting, like, a list of thing that each state's known for? That'd be interesting. I'd love to do that, too, and give you a different sense of history as well. Back to Kylie Minogue, who celebrated a birthday today. You know, now you've mentioned Kylie Minogue, there's one song in mind that I can't get out of my head. AJ, you're just the absolute best. Thank you for being here. Blaze has a birthday today. If you see Blaze hanging out somewhere on the internet, be sure to say happy birthday. We are actually going to look into playing some Knockout City. I know AJ had said something that doesn't look that fun. I'd like to try it. I definitely like the fact that we'd be playing a game that doesn't involve weapons, to be completely honest with you. Curry, I meant to ask, do you play Spellbreak on PC or PS4? What is Spellbreak? Let us know. And then, yes, if you've missed it, it should be coming up through Streamlabs occasionally this morning. If you go !raffle, you are entered into our Name of the Month giveaway. We are giving away a copy at the end of the show of Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. So if you want to be part of that, do !raffle. And if you are a Patreon subscriber or above, yesterday we had Groggy or Die join us on the Kneecap tier, which is the same as the subscription tier, but for $2 more a month, Mike does something a little extra for you. Thank you, Groggy, for joining us. Chrissy this week also became a Patreon subscriber. You get double entries, which means you're already entered. If you do !raffle, you get an extra entry into it as well. K-Laugh says, all the cars are pre-1974, but older cars are given a handicap just to keep them competitive. 2019's winner was a 1960 Hudson, a 1916 Hudson. Wow. Jabroni said, events like I did Sturgis before, or do Cherry Blossom Festival and DC and get their museums as well. Yeah, the museums in DC are definitely worth it as well. Yeah, it's an all-day event. I mean, it's all-week event, to be honest, to do all the museums that are in DC. It is Hamburger Day. It is International Amnesty Day, Menstrual Hygiene Day, Brisket Day, Don't Fry Day, National Cooler Day, Friday. It is also National Heat Awareness Day. It is Carb Day, which is apparently an Indy 500 party, and it is Whooping Crane Day as well. As we welcome back our friend Copia, who's in the chat and guest hosting in the. Whoa! I gotta focus you. It's just me. There you are. Hi, good moron, Copia.
Good moron. I think we're back.
Yeah, you sound great. And being here and hanging out with us this morning. Copia is a streamer on Twitch, and always a good time to have Copia along with us this morning. I'm curious, my friend. Do you have a affinity for burgers? Because today is also Hamburger Day.
So I do. I am actually vegetarian, but I am trying all kinds of new meat-free burgers that are being introduced at the moment. I am really, really enjoying burgers again. A lot of it's thanks to Superphonic, because Superphonic is a real burger connoisseur. Him and Kiki, and they've really got me back into burgers.
Well, the one thing about the road trip idea, and if you ever do get to the Pacific Northwest of the United States, is we have a very good vegan and vegetarian food scene here, and a lot of people make some really cool burger concoctions that still fit the vegan and vegetarian lifestyle. We have Load Last Checkpoint saying it's Saturday, Junior. Don't know what that means. I hope it's not Saturday. Oh, I see. Friday. It's Saturday, Junior. I got you. Idor Burgers. I'm going to have one tonight, says Kakuri. That would be pretty cool. And yes, Copia is our first guest host. Oh, actually, that's not true, because Kiki Lowe did spend an hour guest hosting with us before. I was going to say, you're the first guest host that we've had, Copia, who's actually part of GMS in the afternoon. So.
It is an honor. It is an absolute honor.
Of course you do. Superphonic already popping in chat saying, I have a burger kit for tonight. Yeah, I'm not surprised. A black bear burger. Okay, I have a whole bunch of stuff. Right? Yeah. Ooh, black bear burgers could be pretty good. I'm excited for this. Jelly Bone Jabroni is having a birthday stream coming up on Tuesday, and Jelly's going to join us either on Monday or Tuesday to play 5 Questions GMS. We'll definitely let you know on our Twitter feed when that's going to happen, but it's going to be a pretty cool event because on Tuesday is actually Jelly Bone Jabroni's birthday stream. So we're excited to celebrate alongside you, Jelly, and be able to promote and have a chance to participate in your event. It's coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday next week, 5 p.m. Eastern time. The Jelly described this yesterday on Jelly Stream. I'll be playing a LGBTQIA plus dating game with Chris M.E., Kate Zaid, Austin Attack 12, Earthling Gaming, who will be helping me act out roles. I'm also doing a cosplay that is all about love and perfect for this for so many reasons. I can't wait to show and explain why to you all. So very excited to have the opportunity to feature Jelly and play 5 Questions GMS next week. We already have 2 5 Questions GMS events planned for next week as well. One's coming up on Friday that we'll tell you more about coming up next week. In addition to yesterday having Papa Paz in the GMS 5 Questions chair and played what was probably one of my favorite versions of the game because had to answer the question, Copia, what is your favorite oil? So, of course, I would be, remiss the opportunity to ask you, Copia, what's your favorite oil?
I mean, it's all dependent on the day. If I want a more defined day, I would say baby oil, but that vegetable oil probably is probably the best one to.
I don't.
It's probably the one I use most. So.
I believe baby oil is definitely the right answer for you, Copia. Prototype
I never have defined days.
It said Sunrise Bacon Burger. It's just a bacon burger with an egg and avocado spread. Eggs on burgers are pretty legit, and although I'm not a big fan of messy food, if you get one of the eggs that have like the runny yolk, then being able to have that kind of trickle down the burger can be a pretty good addition.
See, I'm zero mess when it comes to things like that. If I was to have an egg in a burger, I'd have to have the yolk well done.
Yeah.
I can't have it running down. Can't do that. I'm so messy when it comes to eating anyway. I can't eat a bowl of cereal without getting milk down me. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty on par with that. Like, I would probably not choose to have it be messy, and so getting the hard yolk would be better. But I could handle it occasionally if it was worth the price of admission for the burger. The good news is Superphonic said no black bears were actually harmed in the making of the burger, so no worries, no black bears were eaten. Although yesterday, if you missed it, and you can go to our Twitter feed or mine, Hefty Goof, there was a 7 black bear birthday pool party to celebrate the end of the year in Tennessee that we highlighted, and there was video of that as well. Chrissy said, Kay, but have you had any peanut butter and bacon on your burger? Game changer. No, peanut butter does not belong on a hamburger, right?
So this is one thing I'm actually going to agree that peanut butter doesn't belong on. Not on a burger. In a cheese sandwich, yeah, but not on a burger.
Who's up for some peanut butter and cheese sandwiches?
Bob knows.
I can't believe
I've seen
I can't
people have
believe
PB&J.
that Bob is a pancake expert, right? But yet he agrees with you on peanut butter and cheese sandwiches.
Absolutely. I mean, don't knock it till you've tried it. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll ever say.
All right, we're going to get into a top 10 list. Again, it is National Road Trip Day, so we're asking you for your ultimate road trip idea. I talked a little bit in the first hour about going across the country. I would like to do it down on the southern line now because I've done like a northern line across the country before. I'd like to be able to go down to the bottom line. While we talk about that, Kopi, you found us a story from Screen Rant's Rick Stevenson, and this was about a sequel to the original film Joker. And it's looking like at least a key member of the original movie is going to be back for the sequel.
Yeah, so that is going to be Todd Phillips, who directed and co-wrote the original movie. He has signed up to co-write the sequel with Warner Brothers. Which I sent you this over actually. I was really surprised because when the interviews were happening as the first film came out, both Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix said that they really liked the idea of it just being a standalone film and for people to interpret what they wanted from the story. So, and Joaquin Phoenix is usually not one to do sequels. So I was really surprised to see that Todd Phillips has signed up. So I'm kind of worried as to whether or not it might be like a money talk situation. But I mean, it's going to be difficult to top that first one.
In the story, according to a report from The Hollywood Reporter, Phillips will return to pen the script for the next Joker installment. It's unclear whether or not the original co-writer will be there as well. But they are planning to have it direct Joker 2 with Phillips' return likely suggesting that will be the case. They've announced a large number of new, relatively independent DC film projects over the past year, and it should be interesting to see how Joker's unique style fits into those future plans. Again, that is from Rick Stevenson of Screen Rant. It is 7:25 on the West Coast, 10:25 on the East, 3:25 in the UK. Copley and I will now walk you through a top 10 list because National Road Trip Day is the day of the day. And Copia, let me know if you have any issues with that link. But we're going to do a list versus link. List versus list, I should say. And this comes from Leslie Connor of List First. 10 hilarious travel mishaps that made the news. I will tell you, if you go to Listverse has some sort of affinity for kind of this. How do people say it in their streams? Is it spoofy streams? Spooky? Spooky? Spoofy? Is it just straight up spooky? Spoopy? Maybe that's what it is. They have an affinity for it. Because there are some pretty, spoopy. There's some pretty dark lists on this, on listverse.com. Like, it was like top 10 horrible roads to drive across in the United States or something, which I didn't want to bring that to you, but just so you know, if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can find it at listverse.com. This one was written March 2019 from Leslie Connor. 10 hilarious travel mishaps. I'm going to take the first one, Copia, and then you can paraphrase. Let's see, I'll take 10, so that means you can paraphrase the odds. We'll start with number 10 on this list.
0.
Whoa, Bob. Easy there, big guy.
0.
Okay, that's better. Long distance water taxi, anybody? And apparently, this is a connection between Sydney, Australia, and New Zealand, potentially. If you've had transportation, you're trying to plan a road trip, things can be kind of overwhelming sometimes, even with like modern Google Maps type technology. But one tourist from India had some issues. A question on an online travel forum would have to be one of the funniest quote-unquote dumb tourist questions on the site ever seen, going in the news and on social media. The tourist was finalizing an itinerary for a planned road trip in Australia and New Zealand and asked, what's the best way to drive from Sydney to Auckland? Evidently, though, he had failed to look at the atlas and see that, hey, it's a 3-hour plane journey across the Tasman Sea between the two cities. Submarine or wadi taxi was cited as his best travel options if he didn't want to fly. I assume there's got to be like a water taxi, right? Right? I don't know. That's an assumption.
I'd imagine for such a short because I suppose, I mean, 3 hours on sea. Well, that's by flight, so it'd take a bit longer by sea. But I imagine a ferry could do that. So I'd imagine it'd be a form of ferry or something like that. But yeah, there has to be a water taxi.
9,
Not heard of one though.
9,
Oh, okay, so number 9. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind.
9,
So number 9.
9, 9.
Settle down, Bob. All right? It's Copia. We take care of Copia. Are you settled? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So number 9999999, we have an unexpected stowaway. So here we have put yourself into this. Many of us have packed things in our suitcases by mistake for the trip home. The odd bath towel, book, or article of clothing can find its way into our luggage. In this particular case, it was not a towel, a book, or any kind of clothing. It was a large Australian reptile that a Scotswoman received when she was unpacking her cases. She'd been visiting family in Queensland, Australia, and found a 60-centimeter spotted python. It had appeared in her bedroom during a storm. Okay, that's terrifying because I'm absolutely terrified of snakes. They did call us a snake catcher, who searched for the reptile to no avail. So it was just assumed that the snake had slithered outside. And oh my goodness, this was when she got home to Glasgow. So she took a 40-hour flight from Brisbane to Glasgow. She unpacked her luggage and found the snake curled safely in one of her shoes. Which is incredible. So the snake survived an 11,200-mile journey unharmed and had shed its skin during the hibernation. So, but you'd be pleased to know that fortunately the Glasgow snake catcher was more successful in catching the python, and it was moved to a wildlife sanctuary. So it was a happy ending.
This is kind of the same story with number 8. It has to do with venomous life as well, and it goes back to the idea that many who know a trip to Australia means that you're going to be around probably some pretty serious and dangerous wildlife. Apparently this woman had taken a picture on social media holding, quote, a pretty orange and blue octopus that she had found in a rock pool, and that turned out to be a blue-ringed octopus, which according to listverse.com is one of the Pacific region's most venomous creatures. In fact, within 1 hour, a bite from this octopus can cause paralysis and death. It has enough venom to kill 26 adults within minutes, according to the list. It is very pretty, by the way. Luckily, was able to shake the octopus from her hand before it ever had a chance to sting her. I think that's almost as terrifying. It's not, but it's almost as terrifying as never having like ran into the thing to begin with, if that makes sense. Like almost running into it, having held it, knowing that it could have bitten you, is a little bit more cause for alarm. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my brain.
7.
Hindsight for fear. So number 7, we have how much can a koala bear? So it isn't just tourists who have funny interactions with the local wildlife. A South Australian wine grower recently had his car hijacked by a koala bear that seemed to have become a little hot under the collar. So he was driving out to inspect his vineyards, and he left his dog in the car with the door open, so that the dogs didn't get too hot. And when he returned, he found a koala bear sitting in the back, taking advantage of the air conditioning. So, according to this, the howls of the dogs and the protests of the dogs were not enough to persuade the koala to move on. He placed himself firmly in the front seat and took full advantage of the air conditioning. The driver actually ended up giving up, trying to remove the koala, and he drove the hijacker to a nearby bushland. So luckily there was some nice eucalyptus there, which distracted the koala enough to take it away. That is quite incredible. I think I'd rather find a koala in a car than a snake in my luggage. Let's be honest.
Right. I mean, the koalas, and I'm with Jelly. Like, I'm sure koalas are well meaner than they actually look, because koalas are beautiful and cuddly-looking creatures, and I'm sure they're not in real life. All right, we're going to skip down. I'm going to take number 4, Kopi. I'm going to have you give the top one on this list. Number 6 was Boxing Kangaroo. Number 5 is something called Have I Forgotten Something, so we'll tell you more about those when we share this list. Number 4 is Landing in Hot Water, and I bring this one up because I actually grew up in Montana, which has part of Yellowstone National Park in it, and this is often the case with Yellowstone, is there's always like a story at least once a year of somebody going across the barrier or getting too close to some wildlife. In this case, there were warning signs, of course, about all of these different attractions that are, really warm, for example. You might know Yellowstone Park for Old Faithful. That's the geyser that's there. And this tourist in Yellowstone stunned onlookers when he crossed barricades and strolled up to a steaming geyser to use it as a foot spa. Apparently, not realizing, like, hey, it's boiling water and can seriously burn you, the man proceeded to remove his shoes and socks and attempted to wash his feet in the geyser. Luckily, was apparently pretty unharmed, and everything ended up being okay. He put his shoes and socks back on before heading on his way. So, number 3 on this list involves a whale. Number 2 on this list involves, quote-unquote, the Ice Queen. It's an Iceland vacation story. But number 1 on this list.
So number 1 is we've reached our destination. So everybody's made travel mistakes, getting on the wrong train or bus, missing a stop, or missing a plane altogether. But the last thing you'd ever expect it to be making the mistakes is the aircraft crew, which happened to a plane load of surprised Londoners who thought they were heading for Dusseldorf in Germany. Many of the passengers noticed that there was unusual scenery below, with some taken to Google Maps and find themselves confused to see that they were heading towards Scotland. It wasn't until the plane actually landed in Edinburgh that the mistake became apparent. And it turns out that incorrect flight details had been provided, and the crew believed they were heading to Edinburgh. So they did a show of hands to indicate who was hoping to be in Dusseldorf, and it appeared that it was everyone. So after several hours of a delay, the flight was redirected, and hopefully they all got to where they needed to get to.
Oh my gosh.
How? They didn't even sound alike.
That's a great story. That's a list from Leslie Connor of Listverse. This is on National Road Trip Day. So we're asking you, what do you see as your ultimate road trip? And if you're not wanting to road trip in your own country, where would you want to go? We've had some great answers so far throughout the show. That is Copia. I am Ryan, a.k.a. Hefty Goof. Thanks for being with us, as you might be Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at GamingMorningShow.tv. We're going to tell you about cicadas and the Olympics. That's coming up in just a little bit as well on this edition of the show. Kopi and I are going to hop into one more Rocket League game, and then we're going to have sports. Did you bring anything to the sports table, by the way? Like, do you have like a soccer report for me or something?
Yeah, I have quite a bit for the football this weekend, actually.
Nice.
It's quite an important weekend in English football.
Nice.
So, yeah, definitely a lot to come up with that.
Chrissy tells us that I already did the scenic highway on the 101, but I wouldn't mind checking out Route 66. Jelly was the one who Brent mentioned earlier, going to every state to see what each state is about, like what it's best known for. That's pretty cool. We also have our whole entire name of the month available to win as well. That is Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. So if you want to get in on our raffle, you can do so by doing !raffle, and you will have a chance to win with Gaming Morning Show. All right, we're playing a little Rocket League this morning. National Road Trip Day, the last show of the week. We will have Austin in the guest hosting chair on Monday, and we will have Pib join us to guest host coming up on Tuesday. So pretty excited about both of those to join us on Gaming Morning Show. Guru is giving you credit for saying specifically English football.
Yeah, you need the specifics sometimes. It is just football, I know, but I tend to attack the food related mistakes as opposed to there's American football, there's English football. It's all good.
Oh,
I don't worry about fighting that one.
That was a really bizarre goal. It like sucked into the top right corner of the goal. So I don't know about that.
Right.
I don't know about that. Nice.
We are playing against masters as well. This is scary.
Disciple. I hate it here. Yeah, the biscuits one, Copia, that's the one that's thrown me the most. So when we got back into our discussion originally of what is a biscuit and what is a scone, that's the one that I think I disagree with the most, because a scone in the U.S. is a very specific type of pastry.
But so from what I can see though, a biscuit and a scone is the same mix. Just a scone would generally have sugar added to it. So we have savory scones, we have sweet scones. Do you get cheese scones in America?
Yeah. No, sorry. We
do?
have cheese, like we have cheese biscuits, but I don't see too many like the harder, denser type scone that I consider a scone. I don't know. Chat, do you see many like cheese or savory scones? Maybe I'm just missing them because I love so many sweet scones. Yeah, Chrissy says I've never seen a cheese scone in the U.S. So I don't think they're very common here.
Okay. So they're basically like the main type of scone you'll get in the UK. And so what you would consider a cheese biscuit is what we would consider a cheese scone, because to me and to the UK, like it's just the same mix. But it's just obviously biscuits for you are served hot, whereas scones can be sort of served hot or cold for us. But it's biscuits are quite like a breakfast delicacy for you guys, aren't they? Am I right in thinking that? I know Groggy, for one, goes and gets biscuits for breakfast a lot. So with different types of toppings. See, we don't do anything like that. Like we'll have jam and cream. That's about it.
So yeah, the scone here is definitely more of like the equivalent of like a donut, in the sense that it's primarily like a sweet breakfast type meal, whereas like a biscuit, there are a ton of like morning breakfast sandwiches that are on biscuits, but rarely, other than maybe a biscuit with strawberry jam or something, you mostly see biscuits used as like a sandwich style outer layers with an egg or chicken, cheese. A lot of that stuff kind of lines up on a biscuit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I must admit I was really surprised when I visited America. I visited Florida in 2013, and we got KFC because you just have to, and I was really surprised when it said on the menu that every meal comes with a biscuit, and I was like, a biscuit? Like, so something sweet to have at the end, right? And then I open up this box and there's a scone, or what I call a scone, and I'm like, why is there a scone with chicken? Like, I was so confused. But yeah, and it was from that day that I learned that you guys call them biscuits. I had no idea until then.
Yeah.
I was 23 years young when I found out.
And for what it's worth, the KFC biscuits are fairly good, cheap biscuits. So they're not awful.
Yeah.
They're pretty okay, as we would use.
I enjoyed
in
it.
This place.
Absolutely, it was pretty okay. And the options for sides are amazing as well. Like we have, like in the UK for KFC sides, we have baked beans, gravy, or corn on the cob. There we go. And I know that there's like mac and cheese, everything like that you can get in the States.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another level.
Yeah, Prototype's got a good point too. Biscuits are pretty popular in the South with biscuits and gravy. Although even growing up in Montana, we had a lot of biscuits and sausage gravy. So that is definitely a thing. Chrissy says, I hate our scones. They're always so dry and bland. I prefer muffins or a croissant if I'm having a pastry for breakfast. Yeah, so I am a big fan of scones, Chrissy. I forgot if you boost, it's going to go high. I'm a pretty big fan of scones, especially like there's this one at Panera, which is like a chain bakery in the U.S., and has a cinnamon crunch scone. And so like I definitely like those because they're a little bit sweeter, but scones typically come out significantly drier than perhaps I'd prefer. And that's why I think biscuits are like the most perfect food, because Dr. Chick, who's a very good cook, said biscuits are more flaky, buttery, whereas you have scones which are richer, denser, and drier. And that kind of fits what Chrissy's talking about with, it's not as good as you would like. So
Yeah, I kind of assumed that the flakiness was from it being served hotter, because we put a lot of butter in the scones here as well. But we generally have cheese scones, fruit scones, and plain scones. That's literally as far as we go. But we do have like American diners and things like that, like American style, and they do refer to and sell as biscuits. Look at us go.
The one thing I don't get about UK food culture, says Gray, is why baked beans with breakfast. Copia, why baked beans with breakfast?
Baked beans with breakfast. Baked beans is just perfect. Nice and full of fiber. Goes with toast, goes with eggs, goes with everything in a fry-up. Why not baked beans? I do, however, prefer my baked beans served in a ramekin, though, so I can have the beans whenever I want them, and so they don't interfere with my other food. But baked beans work. Baked beans pretty much work with every kind of food you could imagine.
Here I am not knowing about baked beans and scones, says Tracer.
We can do this.
I should have won it on that last piece because I had a wide open net. I just didn't jump up to hit it low.
Ooh. I think I might retire from Williams. I'm ready for Ferrari.
Well, we had a friend of the show, Jet Set, the other day ask us about F1. It was yesterday, in fact, was talking on Twitter about, does anyone on Twitch really know a lot about F1? And we invited Jet Set to join us for one of the F1 streams that we do on Sunday, because Jet Set was a former GMS 5 Questions guest.
Yeah. I think I actually watched a Jet Set stream very recently, actually. Because I've been trying to get more into Formula 1 again. Sorry, I'm experiencing a bit of lag again.
No worries, you're doing great. I wanted to say Dr. Chick said something about croissants, but I'm going to try to win this game with Copia first. All right.
Let's go!
All right, here we go. It is now
around.
7:47 out on the West Coast. It is 10:47 on the East, 3:47 for those watching GMS in the afternoon. To make croissants, you have to have almost the same method to make biscuits. In order to get a buttery, flaky... To get the buttery, flaky is how many times you hold the dough. Each fold will have layers of butter, and that is where the flakiness comes from. I didn't know. Now I know.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. We have everything organized. That is Copia. Copia is guest hosting today and streaming later on in the show. Not in the show, but in the day. So you're going to be doing what again coming up after about 9:30 Pacific time this morning?
Yes, so today I'm going to be playing. It's not going to be an incredibly long stream. It's going to be about an hour and 15 tonight. But I'm going to be playing Apex with a mystery guest who has very kindly taken the time out of their day, their busy schedule. I will tell you that they are a professional Apex player, but nobody yet has, or maybe they have guessed it right. A lot of people think it's sports.gaming and that he's not actually at work. But yeah, it's a really big, it's going to be a monumental thing for our community for Apex. So.
Well, we are excited for that. It's coming up on Copia's channel, twitch.tv/Copia with a 1 and an A at the end. King Gray said, hey, black beans are absolutely the worst food ever. Listen, Gray, I'm with you. I don't like baked beans in the least, so I will always pass when anyone opens up a can of baked beans. But Down says baked beans is like free ketchup.
I mean, baked beans are just the one. Mix in some cheese with them. Cheesy beans.
Downs.
Never.
Down says it feels weird thinking you guys have scones with gravy. It hurts a little.
I agree, Downs. It is so strange. I just can't. I can't imagine it. I really can't. And plus, you have very different types of gravy as well, don't you? So you'll have like a creamy gravies and things like that. Whereas we just have gravy.
Just straight up gravy.
Zesty.
Yep.
All right. On the intro to sports this morning, we have a nice soccer report coming up from our friend Copia. We will tell you that if you're interested in cicadas and the Olympics, well, boy, does Reuters have a news story for you. Because apparently cicadas are making their Olympic debut in miniature art scenes. You may have heard that there's this group called Brood X. This is a appearance of insects. It's also Brood 10, which is along the eastern United States. They had not been around for 17 years, and all of a sudden these cicadas started showing up again. And so what did someone from Virginia decide to do? Well, Oksana Ware, who's a photographer, was like, you know what I can do? I can take the cicadas and make small-scale art installations. Quote, I always teach my kids to just be playful and respectful of nature, so that's how the idea was born, said the 39-year-old who has 3 young children. We started with my son's fire truck, and that was a huge hit. So now what Ware does is collect cicadas from the yard and then places them in dollhouse-sized settings and makes showcases. And, of course, lately, you can see insects doing, I don't know, a simulated barbell press, for example, getting warmed up for the potential 2021 Olympic Games. Or maybe drums and playing in a bug band. This is, I think, one of those stories, Copia, that you need to see to believe, so I'll post the link in chat. But yeah, the cicadas are back after 17 years and they're getting ready.
I think I've seen it all now.
All right, it is now 7:50 on the West Coast. It is time for sports! K-Lab said 17 years ago I ate one of those cicadas. Now that it is sports time, what is the latest in all of soccer news? We go to our hashtag soccer expert. Here's Copia.
Okay, so this weekend is a really, really big weekend for football. I mean, tonight and tomorrow, I think we have the Bundesliga and Ligue 1 relegation playoffs, respectively. So they're going to be going down tonight and tomorrow to determine whether a team comes up from the second division or a team goes down from the top division. But tomorrow we have the All English Champions League final between Manchester City and Chelsea. There's been a little bit of controversy because a lot of fans wanted it to be moved to Wembley because it was originally going to be played in Istanbul, but because of COVID, they've had to change it, and they've changed it to Porto, which has confused a few people. But Manchester City are aiming to become the 23rd different club to be crowned European champions, and Chelsea are looking to become the 13th multi-time champion. So it's all to play for between those two tomorrow. But also, Maiko's team have a big game. We have Brentford versus Swansea in the English Championship playoff final, which is actually the biggest money prize in English football. I don't know the exact figure for what the winning team will get, but whoever wins the Championship playoffs gets the biggest payout out of any teams. It gets even more than the Premier League champions, which is strange. But yes, we have Brentford versus Swansea coming up tomorrow. And then Sunday and Monday, respectively, we have the League One and League Two playoff finals between Blackpool and Lincoln on Sunday and Morecambe and Newport on Monday. So big weekend in English football.
I gave a big fist shake because you mentioned League One, and I just can't help but recognize the League One champions.
Hull City. Up the Tigers.
Up the Tigers, let's go! All right, it's everyone's favorite sports segment, and that is, did the Mets win last night? Usually we celebrate this with Maiko, who's a Mets fan. And the answer is?
Yes.
The Mets did win last night. They got a 4-2 win over Colorado in a 7-innings final. And I can't remember why it was 7 innings. Oh, because they played a doubleheader. So in the first game, did the Mets win?
Yes.
So it was a doubleheader sweep by the Mets. A 1-0 win over Colorado in the first game. Both of those games were at Citi Field. In the NBA playoffs last night, Milwaukee commanding now 3-0 lead over Miami, 113-84. And I watched this game to the bitter end. Denver beats Portland 120-115 at the Moda Center in Portland. So Portland now trails that series 2-1 to the Nuggets. Lakers take their first lead in their series with the second-seeded Phoenix Suns 109-95. And that is your sports! Prototype entered the raffle. If you didn't see that, if you do !raffle, you have a chance to win a name of the month for April. Disciple, I will give you some hockey because I love hockey updates. And here they are. In the NHL playoffs yesterday, Montreal over Toronto 4-3. Canadians closed the gap in that lead with the Maple Leafs 3-2 Toronto leads. In OT, Carolina dispatches Nashville 4-3. And now Carolina wins the series against the Predators. And that's your hockey playoff update. So there you go, Guru. I got your back. Who's your hockey team, Guru? I love talking hockey. Suck it, Preds. By the way, Nashville's play-by-play guy is one of the best and kindest people I've ever met, Pete Weber. So shout out to Nashville's play-by-play guy. Oh, yeah, I forgot you're a Dallas Stars fan. All right, we got to take a break. Chris M. Yee is here early to check in, saying 7-inning MLB games are weird. My high school games were 7 innings. Yeah, it is kind of odd. The Stars dispatched my Flames in last year's playoffs, which was super sad. That is Copia. I am Ryan. We will come back with more of this edition of Gaming Morning Show Community Games coming up next hour. We will also give you your takeaways that were pretty okay and our clip of the day as well. We'll be back in just a little bit on Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at GamingMorningShow.tv. slow. Pick up the gun.
How do I get in?
Although
Where's
now
the door?
Now I'm instantly regretful because I wish I would have had that Mozambique out because I was trying to shoot a charge rifle.
Oh god, oh god, I got it. Quick.
No!
Son of a butt.
It's right. We didn't execute our strategy wholeheartedly because I didn't say go bully this person until we landed, basically. So.
Yeah, if you haven't used a next gen, how good was the haptic feedback in the Xbox Series X or S controller?
Considering I have no idea what the hell haptic feedback is, I don't know.
It's the fancy rumble. So it's the difference
But
between
the rumble's
like
all the same. I put it on the ground and it makes lots
Imagine
of
a
noises.
rumble.
So this rumble, when we start Rocket League, and my controller just goes. That's not fancy rumble. Whereas when I play Astro's Playroom in this, you can feel the raindrops because it's just more.
All right, let's play some Apex Legends this morning. Please be Olympus. Please be Olympus. Please be. Oh, it's not King's Canyon. Listen, it's not King's Canyon. It's just the fact that I like Olympus that much more. All right.
Sounds good.
Romance.
Okay, I'm supposed to say the word romance?
Yep, just try to do a Kiki Low.
Okay.
We want to make each other happy, you know? That's just in our nature. And it means everything.
Tonight, on I Guess We'll Never Know, we go inside the unsolved case of a sibling rivalry. A misunderstanding between brother and sister that led to destruction. Mom, have you seen my Furby? What started as a practical joke turned deadly.
Copia said, my sister tried to convince me that it was based on a witch in the woods near my house. I pulled her Furby in response.
It was premeditated. Turns out, it was Ferb-degree murder.
The eyes and beak melted slightly.
A special GMS event. Ferbicide in the forest. Only one Furby was harmed in the making of this promo. Or was it?
The truth is,
you can't kill a Furby. It's behind you! GMS. Coming up on Gaming Morning Show, Community Games, and GMS, Morning Gaming Renews. Get ready for your takeaways that were pretty okay, and the clip of the day. Time for hour number 3, right now.
Morning, gamer. Gaming Morning Show continues on Friday, May 28th, 2021. Thank you for being with us, wherever you may be. Final hour of the week with Copia guest hosting this morning. Thank you for hanging out with us as you have for the entire show. Copia will be broadcasting coming up in about 30 minutes from the end of our show, which will be super exciting, with special surprise guest who, we are apparently all guessing wrong. We also will send you over to Papa Paz's Charity-a-thon, which is starting right now. Papa was on the show yesterday, and if you missed it, please check it out on our YouTube page, youtube.com/gamingmorningshow. Played 5 questions GMS and answered the question that everybody was wondering, which was, what is your favorite oil? And it was hilarious. We appreciate being here. Community games coming up in less than 15 minutes from now. Less than 20 minutes from now, excuse me. And then we'll have all those other things like our takeaways that were pretty okay. Hamburger Day, Amnesty International Day, Menstrual Hygiene Day, Brisket Day, Don't Fry Day, National Cooler Day, Friday, National Heat Awareness Day, Carb Day, and Whooping Crane Day, in addition to our topic of the day, which is National Road Trip Day. I honestly don't know. Mike might have surprised me because I don't know if I believe that it's Don't Friday, which is FRYDAY, but it's also FRI Day. So I really don't know if any of those copia are actually real, but if they aren't, he fooled me because, yeah, Friday.
I have not seen them myself, but I mean, it's a trustworthy source, so I'm gonna go with Mike on this one.
I will tell you this: if it is in fact Friday, FRYDAY, if all y'all would please fry something for me today, I would definitely appreciate it. There is a story from Gizmodo's Elise Stanley that says that apparently Twitter might be listing a new subscription service that they plan to charge roughly $3 a month. It happened because there's this leak that happened through an App Store listing on Apple's App Store, because they're actually showing an in-app purchase called Twitter Blue, but it hasn't actually been featured yet, so we're not entirely sure what it means. The update was first spotted on Thursday by a researcher who, through reverse engineering, has uncovered several details about Twitter's upcoming subscription service and exactly what $3 a month will get you. According to Lee Stanley's article, the screenshots showed paid subscribers will get an undo tweet feature, customization options for color themes and app icons, and access to something called Reader Mode. Previously, there was also evidence that Twitter Blue may let creators create bookmark collections. I'm telling you, if there is an undo tweet button that is a pay for a service, that is wrong, because we've needed an edit button on Twitter forever. I guess it's an undo button, not an edit button, but come on, don't make me pay for that.
No, I personally have a feeling this might go down the same route. Do you remember when all those links were coming around from Facebook saying they were going to start charging for people to use all of their services and things like that? That never came into fruition. Although Twitter does continuously get bigger and bigger every day, I honestly think that if they start charging people $2.99, it's going to backfire. I don't think people are going to jump on board with that because they'll just move to something else that's free. I think it will do them more harm than good to do that, personally.
It is 8:06 on the West Coast, 11:06 out on the East, 4:06. Yes, Nintendo, you're absolutely right, which gives us an opportunity.
Welcome in, Final Hour crew.
Including ambassadors Chris M. Yee and Nintendo Nerds. The Final Hour crew ambassadors are here. Chris M. Yee says, Brisket Day was last Sunday for me. I had the best brisket I've ever had. Even Papa Paws was talking about like the low and slow smoking of a brisket that Papa did. Nintendo Nerd says, oh nice, a wild copia appears. Good moron, Nintendo Nerds.
Hey, Nintendo Nerds.
I do have a question to ask you, Nintendo. You had put us on the alert that there was that Sonic event that was coming out. Well, that happened yesterday. And inside the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming News, we talked about all of the things that Sonic is going to be in. I will not be able to recap those. That is solely something that our good friend Sports Gaming is capable of. But one thing I do want to know is, Nintendo, is there anything that came out yesterday where you're like, no, Sonic doesn't belong there? No, not going to happen. So I am kind of curious if that is the case.
No hospitals or anything like that.
King Gray said, did I hear Brisket? You've summoned the Texans. I love brisket, and I've never had authentic Texas barbecue before, so someday I hope that will be the case. Prototype did say, did brisket for my birthday 2 weeks ago. 22 hours of meat babysitting. Oh, yeah.
That's dedication. That's dedication to brisket.
True. It is National Road Trip Day. We are asking you, chat, what would your ultimate road trip be, in or out of your country? Here's some stats from nationaldaycalendar.com. 2/3 of American drivers report an increase in the number of trips they plan to take in the summer, and more than half of people plan to take a road trip. And we may see new trends on the rise with 52% of respondents reporting that the pandemic has made them more likely to take an outdoors-focused trip. It is clear that the open road calls for long weekends. We pack up, fuel up, stock up, and then crank up the tunes. In fact, 63% of road trippers say that having good music, audiobooks, or podcasts to listen to are the most important parts of a successful road trip. Additionally, 3 in 5 road trippers, 59%, say that having good snacks and drinks for the road, finding great places to eat on the way, and finding clean bathrooms to use whilst traveling are the most important parts of a successful road trip. So, does anybody have an ultimate road trip that they are yet to share or want to reshare this morning? Mine would be going now down toward the southern part of the U.S. because I've traveled across the country, across the middle and north, but I'd like to be able to do like an L.A. to Orlando trip and cut through Texas, and namely because King Gray just officially invited us to come visit Texas. So, why not? Copia. Let's go to Texas.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm already on my way. Wait. I need a new passport. Kate has been trying to get me to go out. Unfortunately, we can't actually fly out anyway, but I don't know if you remember, because obviously, quite a little segue here is obviously Kate flew out to LA as a massive surprise to a lot of us to see Chris past last weekend for his birthday, and she covered up the entire thing when she was like she'd already known about it when she was looking up flights for me to go and things like this, and they kept like dropping hints, and now I look back, I'm like, they've really had me on for a long time here. And apparently Detective Kiki yesterday revealed that as soon as they mentioned the flights for me to get over there, she sussed it.
Yeah, apparently you were the key ingredient to Kiki solving that case. Honestly, I had absolutely no clue because I was waiting for Kate's stream. Kate, if I'm not working on Saturdays, which I don't a lot in the summer, Kate is my official start to my Saturday because streams at 7:30 Pacific time, and I'm an early riser, right? And so Kate mentions on Twitter that it's not streaming. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I was kind of in the dumps because I didn't get to see a Kate stream to begin with, and it turns out that the camera flips on Chris MU's stream, and before you knew it, it was Kate in a Chris house.
I actually cried. I honestly cried, and I don't know how they bamboozled me so much. I did not put 2 and 2 together, and I really should have in hindsight. But I mean, I still can't get over it. We're a week removed, and I still can't get over it.
If you've never been to the Streamers Lighthouse Discord, a lot of the common threads are going through that right now. We'll put a link into the chat. Copia, Chris ME, Kate Zaid, Mr. Fishy McFish, many others contributing to the Discord. You can click there and find out more information, but that is where a great community is being built, and we encourage you to check it out. Some of the answers to our road trip question, a lot of Route 66s. That's from Chris ME. Chrissy mentioned that earlier. Even King Gray would say, I'm totally down for an R66 tour. Nintendo Nerd says the Grand Canyon is truly spectacular as well. So those are some of the destinations people have recommended. Even Nintendo saying when I moved from Kentucky to California, there were some amazing destinations as well. Prototype, who we discovered this morning, is also from Texas. I would love to do the Hitchhiker Trail, I-10 from Cali to Florida. It would be amazing to take water from the Pacific and dump it in the Atlantic. I kind of like that a bit. And Chrissy, who's someday going to get on the show and do us a murder mystery, murder TV show roundup without being able to use the words murder, kill, or death, says that we do a lot of murder podcasts on our road trips. And Pickle Feets, who's a member, an honorary member of the Final Hour crew.
Hello, FHC.
He says, who is this silly sausage? So, I don't know. Who is this silly sausage?
Definitely not a retired sausage.
Lies! Kopi is our most recent retiree. Congratulations. We had the retirement party like a week ago. It was amazing.
That's why I can be here today. Just quit your job and do nothing.
No, and have a yacht. Bamboozles for the foozles is what Chris ME says. And Lipstick Roses has given us a lurk this morning. Good moron to you, Lipstick Roses. Thank you for being here.
A lot of love for Lipstick and Roses.
Earthling Gaming says, "Aw, you're here as well this morning, Earthling. Thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for also taking in that edition of GMS Plays where I sat alongside our good friend Sports.Gaming and got the heck scared out of me for a total of 2 hours.
Hashtag GMS Jump Scare Committee.
Oh my gosh, the alerts weren't working. That made it even more hilarious, to be honest, but it was super annoying because we did not want that to be happening.
Got so good, it was so funny. And it almost saved it.
Jellybone Jabroni gives us a retirement hype, which was pretty awesome. Retired King, hope you have a beautiful Friday. There you go.
Well, I actually have Jelly to thank for starting this whole thing. Because during the stream, Jelly was the one that mentioned that I was retiring. And it all started from there. So thanks, Jelly. I'm not retired. Ooh,
Definitely retired.
We got this. Oh, what? I don't know what happened there. It said said I had boost and then I didn't.
No worries. The nice thing about Gaming Morning Show, if you've never been here before, is the gameplay definitely doesn't matter. That's the best part. No pressure, because the gameplay doesn't matter. I have Hefty Goof on my side. Absolutely, I supported you because I couldn't wait to get into the stream and say, happy retirement, Copia.
Yeah, you did start that as well. So it's a joint effort. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
I
Well, when
appreciate
you
that.
retire, it's a big deal. We need to make a big deal of it. So
You're both invited to stay on one of my yachts.
yes, one of the 2 yachts that you have.
Which don't have names yet.
I mean, one's got to be Sausage, right?
Yeah, maybe HMS GMS.
Ooh. It'll be a first in Gaming Morning Show history to have a boat named after us. So,
If I ever get one, I'll make you this promise now. I will name it after you.
thank you very much.
HMS GMS.
That's true, and Jelly is waiting for you. Remember, we did have promises of the small third emotional support yacht. So,
Yes, I did promise that. Unfortunately, my last pay packet was not as large as I'd hoped. So we're gonna have to wait a little while. So it's still in the works, but I mean, if you want a smaller boat, I can, like a dinghy maybe. I could probably get one of those.
a dinghy. There are
an
fewer fun
inflatable one.
words to say than dinghy. Doily is my
That's actually very
favorite
true.
funny word to say is doily, but one of the next funniest words to say is dinghy. So
One of those words that gets weirder the more you say it as well.
true.
Almost becomes concerning that it might not mean what it means.
Jellyboat's gonna
was-
cosplay a boat.
Please. That would be amazing. I will fund the costume.
Oh, Lipstick and Roses says, y'all know I like saying bigly beans. That's a good one too.
Bigly beans. That is a great one.
I mean, when I was a kid, my best friend Jeff and I, like, I'm talking like, this is 3rd grade type memories. Like, it was just one of those things where my parents had doilies just hanging out on, like, the back of the recliners in the living room. And we just looked at each other, and I think he's like, hey, you know what's a funny word? Doily. And now, we still will be playing Apex together and look at each other and be like, you know what's a funny word, right? Doily. Because it's just hilarious. So, I applaud
I love
Bigly
that.
Beans because it is hilarious.
Bigly beans.
But now, Lipstick
I
and
love it.
Roses, because this came up earlier, you have to tell us, do you like baked beans?
It's gotta be yes. It has to be yes.
Sometimes. Yeah, that'd be great, Jelly. When you get on Copia's yachts, you can cosplay from the yachts and be the third smaller emotional support yacht.
I'm interested to see that. I know that Jelly will keep her word and will do this. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Baked beans are gross, Pickle. But it took me a long time to like any sort of beans, so I could just be behind. But yeah, I'm with Gray. I do not like baked beans. They're just not good.
Oh.
All right,
You could drain the sauce a bit.
You could, I guess. I don't know. It just maybe I'll get like the brown sugar baked beans, and then they'll be sweet enough, and I'll just love them.
Brown sugar baked beans. I've never heard of those.
Roll the baked beans footage, I think was the famous line in commercials for Bush's baked beans. It is 8:19, 11:19 on the East Coast. It is 4:19 for those hanging out with us in the UK. Copia, you have the option to choose the game that we play. We could either play Don't Let the Person Floating from the Balloons Fall into the Monster's Mouth. We could play a game of word search. Or you could take door number 3, which is the rarely used, but sometimes entertaining, also sometimes devastating Google Feud.
Let's go. I'll take door number 3, please. Let's go for Google Feud.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game of Google Feud. We're going to play the multiple choice version of Google Feud. If you've never played this before with us, what's going to happen is we're going to give you a phrase, okay? And it is actually going to include Google's #1 autocomplete for the search. So there's a phrase to start, right? And then it'll give us 5 options for what comes after that. We have to make sure that before we choose everything but the #1 choice, that we've actually had it correct. Engine number 9 is here. Good morning to you, Engine number 9. Thank you for being here with the final hour crew.
Hello, FHC.
Pickle, are you a huge fan of baked beans? Like, is that like a barbecue go-to for you? Because, yeah. No. Big pass.
I mean, I eat them every day nearly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I love baked beans. I can see some tins right in front of me right now, actually.
Oh. Pass. Hard pass.
There we go. Just like that.
Ew.
Ask and you shall receive.
All right. I mean, I definitely believed I was in the minority because I know that many more like baked beans than don't, but still, I was wondering about this. So. All right, here we go.
I didn't preempt that, by the way. I did just have tins in front of me.
Kopi is actually sponsored by baked beans. So #1 on this list is either how to mix a mimosa, how to mix a small amount of grout, how to mix a skin tone paint, a Manhattan, or a protein shake. So what you need to guess, chat, is what do you think is the #1 most often autocomplete phrase that follows how to mix a, right? We're looking for the #1 answer, and we have 4 guesses, so basically we cannot lose unless we find all of them before #1. Copia and I, as the host, have to wait for the countdown timer to go all the way to 0 before we can venture a guess. So, chat, is it mimosa, small amount of grout, skin tone paint, Manhattan, or protein shake? Meanwhile, Pickle Feet says, can't have a barbecue without some sweet baked beans. Pickle then says, you got to tell me you don't like coleslaw next. It took me forever, Pickle, to like coleslaw.
I can't stand coleslaw. No way. Baked beans, but no coleslaw.
All right, Chris M.E. is going to take a shot with protein shake. That is the #8 phrase that follows. Engine number 9 was on that bandwagon as well with Chris M.E., excuse me. Meanwhile, DRG, hey, Copia, can you drop those beans off in the Kingsland tomorrow whilst I'm at the game against Aldershot?
No way! DRG's going to the King's Lynn game. That's insane. Wow, I didn't even know that they were allowing fans. I am actually working in the morning, so I won't be able to go myself. But please do shout extra loud for me, because Kingsland Town FC do hold a place in my heart. They are my non-league team, and they've actually just been spared relegation because of something to do with a couple of the teams not being able to fit the credentials to be qualified to promote. No teams are actually getting relegated this season, so Kingsland are saved.
All right, so Chrissy guessed Manhattan, and so we've missed the first two. Manhattan is the number 4 most searched autocomplete phrase. Copia, you get a chance to guess now. Is it skin tone paint, small amount of grout, or a mimosa?
I'm gonna go with mimosa.
That's number 9. We are down to 2 choices, chat. I think it's grout. And unless anyone disagrees with me, I'm going to guess that. But I do think it's grout because it makes sense. How do I make a small amount of grout, right? You can make a big amount of grout, but how do I make a small amount? That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, I'm confident in that one. I think that's going to get us to the next round. It was the number 1 answer. We are cracked.
I was really surprised at that one.
All right, this
thought
one
it
is...
should be some kind of beverage.
Is it wrong to eat blank? Okay, I'll reset the timer up here for the host. So is it wrong to eat blank? To eat meat, octopus, eggs, pork in the Bible, or lamb?
Interesting choices. It could be any of them. I mean,
I like how
in the game, but
well, I like how all of them are, one-word answers. This is autocomplete, right? But then there's pork in the Bible. Chrissy says eggs. Number 8 on this list. Okay, now Chrissy says octopus. That's number 6. So we have 2 more chances. I'm torn between the 2, and you were wrong. It's okay. It's fine. Bob is still here to support you.
Yes.
I'd have said people if it was on there. HA, is it wrong to eat people? Engine number 9 says octopus. That was number 6 most searched answer. Also, if you do exclamation point raffle, you still have a chance to enter our name of the month giveaway. We are giving away a copy of Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. So that's still available. All right, Copia, do you want meat, pork in the Bible, or lamb?
I don't think there's enough people in the world that believe it's wrong to eat meat. I know there's a lot of people that do. I'd potentially, because due to some religious reasons, meats like lamb are not consumed. I'm going to go with lamb.
So Copia goes with lamb, and Earthling Gaming has pork. So here we go. Let's see what happens. We're going to go lamb for Copia. That was number 4. So Earthling with gaming, with a pork. I just said Earthling with gaming. With pork is going to be the make or break. Here we go. It was meat. The number 1 autocomplete search was, is it wrong to eat meat?
I can't believe so many people ask that question. I thought it would be more specific.
I know. I know. Yeah, it was number 1. Well, our word search adventure today ends, unfortunately, at just 5,000 points.
But that's 5,000 more than 0.
Nintendo said, as a vegetarian, people on the internet need to lighten up. Also, for your purposes, Chris, I mean, if you win today, because you're also a Patreon subscriber, so you already have an automatic entry, and you don't want to win, you're welcome to have us do just a random exclamation point winner, and we can do that as well. Those filthy vegans meat shaming everyone, says Chrissy. Dun dun dun. See, this is the worry that I have, is that we don't ever get done playing Google Feud and having a great feeling about ourselves. So it's unfortunate.
There's always a question, isn't there? That's why I chose it, because there's always questions in people's choices. I don't get it.
That is Copia. He's guest hosting with us today. It is always a blast when you hang around us, and be sure to hang around in about an hour from now. Copia will be on the internet, and we'll be streaming as well on National Road Trip Day. Stick around. At the end of our show, we will send you over to Papa Paws so you can say hi from GMS. And Papa Paws is streaming a charity-a-thon that started. Every $200 raised for Stack Up will add another hour to the charity stream. And then coming up on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, Jellybone Jabroni has a birthday stream. Cosplay elements. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to check out Jelly. I will give a shout out right now, in fact, for Jelly on the chat. And you can say hi from GMS. Jelly's hanging out with us in the show as well today, so it's been great. Jelly will be on the show next week, too, to play 5 Questions GMS, either with Austin Attack in the guest hosting chair on Monday, or with Pib Jinky on the guest host Tuesday, so it should be a lot of fun. That's very kind of you, Chrissy. I wish you better success than the Titanic, Jelly. It's very, very kind of you. All right, Copia, my friends, you are here, and you were talking about Joker 2 earlier. The sequel is likely going to have Todd Phillips back as the director and a writer. I'm curious, did you enjoy the very first Joker movie?
So what the of this universe, I absolutely loved it. I know that it had a lot of mixed reviews, but I'm glad they went the direction they did and kept it separate from everything. I am one of the people that I was a huge Heath Ledger fan, so, and obviously nobody thought that anybody could do Joker after Jack Nicholson did it. Then obviously Heath Ledger did the Joker how he did it, and it was incredibly iconic. Then you had Jared Leto, who unfortunately wasn't as successful and popular, but I actually personally enjoyed his take on it. But then to get this refreshing perspective, which they went for, it wasn't your average superhero supervillain film. It was a regular guy who was psychologically driven to the point of doing what he did, and it's incredibly dark, it's incredibly emotional, but to a lot of people, a lot of areas of the story were almost relatable, and it was a very eye-opening film, a very shocking film, but in my opinion, probably standalone the best portrayal of the Joker I've seen. I really enjoyed that film. I could talk about it for hours, I'm sorry.
You would be invited and welcome to talk about it for hours. I just, as you know pretty well, am not the comic books expert, so every time that I bring up comic books and or movies thereof, then Mike gets mad at me because I start to make them not what Mike would expect them to be. All right, let's do this. I don't know if you heard about this one. This is from Figure 4 Online, but I know that you're an avid wrestling fan. Brian Rose wrote this story, and it's apparently about a WWE NJPW sponsorship, but no indication of the current status in the headline written. This would be in regards to New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE having some sort of partnership with NJPW becoming the exclusive American partner. Is this of any interest to you as a wrestling fan?
Yes, I had actually heard about this. I'm not sure how reliable it is. I mean, Dave Meltzer is the person that has reported it in the Wrestling Observer, and he does have insides. He does have people on the inside of the businesses that inform him of things, but they're not always right. This is something that I would not expect from WWE, but I know that now that there are other companies beginning to rise up, like AEW, and they've now got an affiliation with TNA. So to take NJPW, who AEW are also trying to get ties with, I can see Vince McMahon investing partnering with NJPW just so the other companies can't. And Nick Khan, he's only been with the company like 9 months now, and he is the person responsible for the sale of the WWE Network to Peacock, which has been a really controversial move, but it put $1 billion in the bank for WWE. So if he's at the helm, which it says here that he is, for putting that through, it makes it more likely for me. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to favour NJPW because they're successful on their own, but it's definitely an interesting move. But there is a lot of people who work on the independent scene that work with NJPW, so it might open up some doors for people to get into WWE as well. So definitely interesting.
I don't know much about all the other like wrestling organizations that are out there, but I do say that if you ever want a fascinating tale, is to understand how wrestling went from a very regionalized thing in the United States to becoming the WWE conglomerate, you know, mega power that it is now, including like the WCW's potential threat of the WWE before everything kind of settled out of the Monday Night Wars. It's just a fascinating tale. Real AJ said WWE have tried to create an NXT Tokyo, but not seem to make many waves. So NJPW is an interesting affiliation. Earthling Gaming, have a great lurk. Thank you for hanging out with us. And Chrissy, as I mentioned in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us as well on Gaming Morning Show. This is your last call if you want to do exclamation point raffle to get into our Name of the Month giveaway. And we will give that away at the end of the show. We are also going to, for our clip of the day, since Kopia is our guest host, we are going to bring back a classic clip of the day clip. And that'll happen at the very end of the show as well. So be sure to hang around. It's still ahead on this edition of Gaming Morning Show. Uh-oh. Nah. Everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here.
Ooh. Didn't put me in the game with you.
It did not? Oh, well, the good news is we won by forfeit, so...
Oh, let's go. Oh, here we go. I lost in my game.
Good question, AJ. We ended up choosing Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. So that is the game that we're giving away.
Absolutely brilliant.
Nintendo asks Classic. We've been here long enough for a GMS class sequel. Yep. It's so classic that we are going to be giving it to you, courtesy of Kopia. Miss that.
Saved my own shot.
Coming this fall, it's GMS 2, Twitch-tastic Boogaloo. You love doing movie trailers about as much as I do.
I do. They're just so much fun, and you can. I don't know if you've heard of a comedian called Pablo Francisco.
Yes.
He is my inspiration behind wanting to do them. When he did the Little Tortilla Boy sketch, that is my inspiration behind wanting to make spoof trailers for things. And that's why I love so much when you do your trailers, like The Lost City of D and obviously Side in the Forest, and just creative genius.
All thanks to Bob.
Oh, yes.
Well, and one of the perks of guest hosting is Kopi got a chance to meet Bob off stream. We had it before the show began. We were here in the garage, and Kopi had a chance to talk to Bob, have a chance to tour Bob's box. And in fact, Kopi has confirmed that he's changed his stance, that Bob is in fact fine. Right, Kopia?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, clearly, I mean, I've never
Bob's
seen
fine.
again for further evidence that Bob is absolutely okay. So
Yeah, he's absolutely fine.
Why don't you just tell everybody, in fact, just how fine Bob is?
So fine. Yep. Plenty of water, plenty of food, plenty of room. He even has a window, also known as a handle for the box.
Mhm.
So, yeah, he's fine.
See? So anyone who's ever been concerned about Bob, you've never, ever needed more proof than what Kopi is telling you right now on this very good edition of Gaming Morning Show. So.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if you've noticed, my actual, my club name on Rocket League is actually, the clan tag is Bob.
Mm-hmm. Which was a change made at the beginning of the show because, again, Kopi had the opportunity to see everything that we've done to make Bob's stay in the box as good as possible. So.
Yeah,
so
it's
sorry,
totally not an abbreviation for the club name hashtag Justice for Bob. It's definitely not that.
No, it's definitely how fine Bob is. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But no, I would very much like a box like that.
Well, you hang out with me long enough, or, actually, Kopi, what we could do, since you really like current Bob's box, is once somebody adopts Bob through our Patreon tier, since Bob gets an upgraded box when you do that, we'll just send you Bob's old box, and then you could have just as good of a box as Bob.
Or if Bob gets an upgraded box, this could be an investment for me in the fact that there'd be enough room for me as well, right? So I could move into the box with Bob.
We're going to consult whoever adopts Bob through our Patreon tier. We're going to consult with that person or people to, come up with a design. So if you would like to have a second, space that would be Kopia's spot within Bob's box, absolutely fine. Yeah, we can figure it out.
I mean, if you've seen my design instructions for Sims, like how Austin designed my house, you'll see that I have a natural flair for designing wonderful houses.
Yes.
Even basements for pickle feets. So, yeah, I'm definitely considering that.
I don't know what you're talking about, AJ. AJ's saying something about this being extremely sus. I mean, stop it. This is probably the most... I mean, I would dare to say in Gaming Morning Show history, there's never been a better testimonial to just how fine Bob is. So.
Yeah.
Pickle did say it is a beautiful house. So.
Amazing house. It has 2 toilets on the top floor that face each other. So, for a communal toilet experience.
Hey, Bob. How'd you like hanging out with Kopi earlier this morning?
Bob likes it.
So.
I'm glad he did. It was really nice to finally put a face to the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Really, really nice guy. Definitely not in need of a shower.
No.
From too long in a box of imprisonment.
No, it's a space. It's a nice space for Bob. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You got blowed up.
I did.
We do remember that. The nice thing is Bob's space, his box, if you will, is so big that Kopia could probably be fine in the current setup too.
Plenty of air in here.
See, Bob
no
even.
need to worry.
Yes, we're not worried because you and Kopia would be able to share a space and have plenty of air. So.
Help him!
Nintendo said Bob calls it MySpace. It was an original title that he came up with.
Sorry, I coughed a bit there. I didn't mean to.
No, you did. You're fine. Everything's good.
Yeah, Bob is fine.
Well, it's just nice to know that we no longer have to worry about, like, for example, like Grim won't come in here anymore and say, I don't think Bob is fine, because Grim trusts you, Copia, so.
Yeah. Perhaps I'll even clip this and I'll send it to Grim personally so she can know for herself that Bob is absolutely fine.
As you should.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that word of
I'll
mouth
do
is
that
still like one of the best forms of, advertising. So
Absolutely. 100%. And oh no, I missed it. If someone was new here.
please help me. That was weird. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know.
That was a great center. Oh, nice tap by Jacob.
You just got it. I slowed down too much.
Well, I was preparing to hit it in, and then I just hit theirs in. Sorry. I was trying to do a back flip around. Nintendo Nerds, we did talk about Knockout City earlier in the show. AJ wasn't too much of a fan of it. I want to start playing it because I think it would fit our show pretty well, because the game time lasts pretty okay in terms of like trying to find things that don't last more than like 10 minutes or so. So, yeah, I think that would work.
Definitely.
We're losers!
It was close.
All right, 8:45 West Coast time. We have a whole bunch of stuff to do at the tail end of this show. Reminder, on Monday, Austin Attack 12 will join us to be a guest host on Gaming Morning Show. On Tuesday, Pib Jinky will join us to be a guest host on Gaming Morning Show. And about 30 minutes after the conclusion of today's episode, Copia will be streaming. You can find Copia's stream hanging out at twitch.tv/Copia. That's COP1A. It's pretty strong. I think there's a fun team game. Character design is so-so. AJ said, I think Ryan regrets inviting me to play zombies with him because the games lasted way longer than 10 minutes. Honestly, one of my favorite things about playing zombies on stream was the fact that we would leave, we would do our radio segments, and then I would jump back in, and you, Mike, and Sean were still playing the same game, and I was coming back in like, well, we lost community games. Well, what's happened since I left? So, I'm sorry, chat. Bob would like to say something to you directly.
Hello, chat. This is Bob. I can assure you that I'm completely fine, and you do not need to keep asking Ryan, Sean, and Mike how I am doing. I promise. I'm definitely not blinking twice right now. To prove it, please note for the record that Hefty Goof is tremendously talented at rolling his R's. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine.
There, everything's
Please
good.
help me.
So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yep.
Good. I'm happy we're all in agreement that everything is fine.
Yep.
I mean, Pickle, I don't know how you could say that because it's clearly, said by Bob himself, so.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice box. It now actually I don't know when I think it's been raining recently. So he does now have a bath in the box as well. So he does have access to water. Yeah. I mean I'd happily have a box like that. I might even buy it. I might even offer Bob a price anyway, and purchase the box from him, and then he can perhaps upgrade the box himself. I think that's always a possibility.
I mean, I guess that's perhaps the thing that could happen, but in reality, I mean, Bob needs to be adopted for any of that to happen. So, yeah.
He does, yeah, he does. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm not saving that. So.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's no telling anything is possible on a gaming morning show. So, all right, we got stuff to do. Let's start with this. We're gonna do our name of the month giveaway, and to do that, we are gonna use Wheel of Names. Which, by the way, Copia, I give you all the credit for because I had not ever seen Wheel of Names prior to seeing your stream. So,
it's fantastic, isn't it? I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who gave me it. Someone else gave me it. I can't remember.
And if you've never been here before for a Wheel of Names giveaway, all of our Patreon subscribers already have an entry automatically, and if they happen to be on the show, and they do our Name of the Month giveaway as well. So let's do this. Let's queue up the Wheel of Names, and we're going to get our takeaways that were pretty okay following the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming Re-News. We rehash out the headlines of the day. Let's go here. We're going to do this, and then we're not going to do that, and then we're going to do this, and we won't go and do that. We'll do this, and we won't do that. And we'll do this, and we won't do that. All right. That looks pretty okay. I'm pretty happy with that. How do I close that one, though? Nope. That's not how you do it.
That was a really good cover of Weapon of Choice by Fatboy Slim, by the way.
That's all I do is really
Don't know
good
if you've heard
Fatboy
this
Slim covers. No, I have. I'm well known for my Weapon of Choice names. All right. So this is the Wheel of Names, and all of our Patreon subs or above are on there already. And now we'll just kind of do a little mix them up here and shuffle the order just to see who's a winner of our Name of the Month for April. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. The wheel spins where it'll stop. Nobody knows. Let's see what happens. It could be anybody. Oh my gosh, the suspense. It's just thick in here. Who is the winner? We'll find out right now on this edition of Gaming Morning Show. The winner of Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion is K-Laugh. K-Laugh is our winner today. Congratulations, K-Laugh. You are the proud owner now of Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
You are one of life's winners.
Feel good about that.
Let's go.
No word yet whether or not K-Laugh has to share that with Jordy.
I almost thought it was going to go to Jordy in the end, and that was obviously the first test winner this morning. I was like, "What?" And I'd have said it was a scam, but like I said, I got my prize last month. So.
True. All right, I'm gonna do something really quick, Kopi. I'll be right back. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do this, and go here. All right, we have a couple more things to do, and that is obviously getting through the Gaming Morning Show Morning Gaming Re-News. This is where we rehash the headlines of the day. If you missed any of them, you can find us on Twitter at WatchGMS. Copia's Twitter handle is CopiaTSL, and we've linked that a couple times on our Twitter, which again is at WatchGMS. So you can find us there and search, of course, all the information available by looking for
Hashtag GMS Morning Gaming News.
Sonic had a big showcase yesterday, and a lot of the feature around that was Sonic Central's 30th anniversary showcase. Campbell Gill of GoombaStomp.com, which is, by the way, the first time that Sean's found a source and a story from GoombaStomp.com. But basically the gist is Sonic is everywhere in more places than you ever expected Sonic to be. So that's kind of the gist. Which of those were you most excited about? Are you a big Sonic fan?
I was when I was younger. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was one of the first games I ever played on the Sega Mega Drive. So I really did enjoy Sonic when I was younger. I would say that I would be most excited about a new official game like the Sonic 3D, I believe it was. With everything else that was included in that, I am questioning whether or not they listened to anything fans may have suggested. It doesn't sound like the fans may have suggested that. A nice crossover with 2 Point Hospital is strange. I still can't get over that one. But yeah, definitely, I'd say another Sonic like official game would be the most exciting thing for me.
Horizon Forbidden West State of Play Roundup. Sean gave you the details about that from IGN's Adam Bankhurst. Again, if you ever miss the Gaming Morning Show, Morning Gaming News, it's one of the first things that hits our YouTube feed as well. Good moron to you, Gonzo Gump.
Hello, FHC.
Some of the out todays included some of my favorite names. Long ago, A Puzzle Tale. Wonder Boy. Asha in Monster World. Color Dots Connect. Love, a puzzle box filled with stories. And our name of the morning for this morning was Beautiful Desolation, out today for PS4 and Switch. Being that you're such a big Tenacious D fan, I want you to give a crack at this. Wonder Boy, Asha in Monster World, please.
Ooh. Okay. Wonder Boy, Asha in Monster World. Okay. Wonder Boy, Asha in Monster World. There we go.
Kopi is a great singer. All right, so that's your Gaming
he's
Morning
not.
Show, Morning Gaming Renews. You know what you can also help us out with? Can you help us out with the Clip of the Day jingle?
Sorry? Oh, the Clip of the Day jingle. You don't want to use Kajita?
Let's go. Let's
Okay.
go with... No,
Um,
what do you want to do? You want me to do Kajita, or
Okay.
do you want to give us your version? I can record your version and use it in future versions, which I would be completely fine with.
I'll give it a go.
Yes!
It's time for the Clip of the Day. Clip of the Day. Here it is. It's the Clip of the Day.
Toot toot.
Toot.
Pib. Y'all, he did research. It was premeditated. There's no way I can get you off in the court of law now. Come on.
That's first degree verbicide.
Verbicide. I don't think I have plans this weekend, but I'll wait till Thursday and see if I can do a cooking stream. Ooh, a Dr. Chick cooking stream. What are you cooking? Adobo with a side of Furby? I mean, I think Kopi has the recipe. AJ, you're being charged with firm degree murder. And there you go. There was your clip of the day, a classic clip of the day. That was from Copia telling us the story of boiling his sister's Furby because she tried to convince you that the Blair Witch Project was filmed in the forest around your house.
I'll do it again, I tells you.
All right, that's been the show. Takeaways that were pretty okay, chat. What is something that you learned from today's show? And then we are going to send you over to Papa Pods, who's doing the charity-a-thon, was kind enough to join us yesterday on Gaming Morning Show and talk about what Papa Pods is doing today. For every $200 raised for Stack Up, an extra hour gets added to the stream. Takeaways that are pretty okay. What is something that you learned from today's show? And we start with our guest host, Copia. What is your takeaway that was pretty okay?
My takeaway that was pretty okay is probably that they Sega probably need to reinvest in their marketing department because some of those ideas are just awful. That's pretty much fine. Oh, and don't get on any flights that accidentally go to Edinburgh instead of Dusseldorf.
That's true. That was from our list earlier in the show because today is National Road Trip Day, so we gave you the weirdest stories related to travel from listfirst.com. Nintendo's my takeaway is that you are all surprisingly into the idea of a giant hamster water bottle. Why not? What do we got to lose?
I drink out of it.
K-Laugh said Dr. Eggman, not a real doctor. That was K-Laugh's takeaway. That was pretty okay. Any others, chat, before we send you over to Papa Paws? We told you earlier about Joker 2 being written by Todd Phillips. Cicadas making an Olympic debut in miniature art scenes from a professional photographer in Virginia. We told you that Twitter Blues subscription may include an undo tweet button, and that WWE and NJPW are discussing a partnership. My takeaway that is pretty okay is I have never had more affirmation that Bob is as fine as Bob could possibly be, because Copia, who was one of the leaders of the Bob is not fine movement, has already told us that Bob is clearly fine and is doubling down and everything's good, because Copia had a chance to meet Bob before the show. So
He's fine.
it's great having you here.
It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much for having me.
Be sure
It's
to
been
check.
an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, of course. Be sure to check out Copia over at Copia on Twitch. And again, shout out to Copia for joining us this morning, and good luck with the stream coming up with mystery guests playing Apex Legends at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time coming up today. Austin says, I agree with Pickle that I'm convinced Bob has been dead for months, and those are just recordings. Again, I don't know how to make this any clearer. There's no reason to think that Bob isn't fine, okay? No problems whatsoever, okay? That's all you gotta just remember. Please help me. All right, Gonzo said, I want to retire one day like Copia. As the first guest host in Gaming Morning Show history who is in fact retired. Copia, thanks for spending some time with us, getting off your yacht and hanging out with us on Gaming Morning Show. We will be back Monday. Austin Attack 12 will be our guest host. Pib guest hosts on Tuesday. One of those 2 days, Jellybone Jabroni will play 5 questions GMS. We got an action-packed start of the week at the end of May, beginning of June. So please come back to join us then. Until then, thanks for being here. Gaming Morning Show, Facebook Gaming, Twitch, YouTube, and at gms.watch.
Took a chance, in a trance, painted red, where's the romance? Took a chance, one glance, painted blue.